Target were a school dedicated to the Central Armed Paramilitary Force, CRPF, and a local market. Thankfully, it was Sunday and not all the explosive went up, limiting the damage. Also, today the hoax bomb threats to our air traffic continued. Through the day, there were 20 more threat calls received, taking the total to beyond 90 mark over the last 1 week. Kempegowda Airport also got targeted in Bengaluru. Make no mistake, this is no prank playing out. It seems someone is making a serious attempt at compromising India's march to progress and prosperity. Air traffic is a marker of an economy on the move, and that's getting targeted. Indian airline industry, in fact, is the fastest growing in the world. Are these developments linked at the rump? Is there a common hand guiding this to compromise India's national security? And when all this is happening, why is opposition politicizing such a serious issue of consequence? That's what we are going to discuss. Also, as political activity picks pace in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, Congress suffered setbacks in both their states today, with allies alleging high-handedness. RJD has raised hackles in Jharkhand over seat sharing, and tension is mounting with Uddhav Sena in Maharashtra. Seems the Haryana lessons are already forgotten by the principal opposition party and the Indy bloc pivot. Would the developments have consequences for the opposition alliance going forward? That's our debate number 2 at 9:30 p.m. Let's begin with the headlines first. No end to hoax bomb threats to airlines. Aviation sources say that 14 flights received threat today. So far this week, more than 90 domestic and international flights of Indian Airlines have received bomb threats, with all of them turning out to be hoaxes. Explosion outside CRPF school in Delhi's Rohini this morning. School's wall suffered damage, but no casualties have been reported. Delhi police files FIR under Explosives Act even as NIA gets into action. Rift in India ahead of Jharkhand and Maharashtra elections. Stalemate continues in MVA over seat sharing. Meanwhile, in Jharkhand, RJD decides to go solo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there seems to be an attempt to target India's economy, keeping in mind the bomb hoax threats that are being received by several airlines. Not just that, today in the national capital, a blast took place outside CRPF school. All these events combined together surely hint towards a larger conspiracy. Let's look at the developments of the day, and then I come back with a panel of guests for a conversation.
The issue of national security is of prime focus these days. This starting with several airlines, which includes Air India, Vistara, Indigo, receiving bomb threats.
It's the domain of the security regulator. They are seriously looking at it, and it is definitely a very sensitive issue. It is a subject which is of, I would say, very serious nature, and so it has been looked at extremely seriously.
In the national capital, a CRPF school was the target. In the wee hours today, a bomb blast occurred outside a CRPF school in Delhi's Rohini area.
At around 7:47 today on Sunday morning, there was a light intensity blast that occurred over here at the place, the visuals of which are being given to you by my video journalist V.A. Parvez Tomar. Now you can understand that to begin with, it seemed that it was just a kind of a small mishap that had taken place. However, when the investigations by first the Delhi police officials began, it got to be known that this was not a kind of a mishap, but rather a kind of an explosion which required in-depth investigation.
Meanwhile, the Congress is towing an anti-India line. Senior Congress leader Sushil Kumar Shinde refused to be drawn into a question on whether he considered 2001 Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru to be a terrorist. Overseas, the issue of Khalistani extremism against India is on the rise. This, as pro-Khalistani activists escalated tensions between Canada and India with a demonstration in Vancouver targeting Indian diplomatic missions and symbols. National security for India is the priority. And India is clear that it will not forgive or forget any threats to India's security and sovereignty.
All right, joining me in this conversation, Karan Verma, political analyst, leans towards the BJP. We also have Akhil Swami, political analyst, leans towards the Congress party, and Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst, leans towards the Congress or the Aam Aadmi party. He has contested, in fact, on an Aam Aadmi party ticket. Joining us live from Bengaluru, I want to begin with Professor Madhav Nalapat, and he's Vice Chairman, Manipal Research Group, and someone who's a known name and face when it comes to our national security and strategic affairs. Very good evening to you all. And Professor Nalapat, a kind of politicization we are seeing by the opposition, particularly the Congress party, even the Trinamool. Can you give us a perspective on, can you connect the dots actually on what has happened over the last 1 week with these bomb hoax calls to our airlines and, in fact, a string of bomb blasts, in fact, in Delhi today?
Well, Abhishek, the fact of the matter is that it's a situation where more and more companies are looking to decouple from China and they want to relocate. Many of them have gone to Vietnam, they've gone to Indonesia, they've gone to Thailand. Now, if many of them, frankly, would have a natural home in India. And increasingly, more and more companies who are decoupling from China are looking at India. Now, this is something which obviously is not to the liking of India's enemies. So they're trying to create an impression of fear among foreign investors that the country is not safe. And they're doing that through targeting of airlines, through targeting of railway lines, through targeting I'm sorry to say, the schools and where the children of CRPF Jawans are studying. This is clearly a coordinated attempt. And the attempt is essentially to ensure that
Yeah, I think we lost the line there, Professor Nalapata, and we'll come back to you, connect with you again.
Abhishek, like 20 million jobs. We're looking at 20 million jobs, and in my view, every single party in India ought to be interested in those 20 million jobs for young people. And this is what is frankly being targeted by these efforts to show that India is unsafe, when in fact, the reality is overall, India is a very safe destination for foreign and domestic investment. Thank you, Abhishek.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Professor Nalapat, for that opening, because that puts the whole debate in perspective, and then we can ask some questions. I would want to go to Syed Asad Abbas first, and then to Akhil Swami, and then I come to Karan Verma. In that order, Syed Asad Abbas, you heard what Professor Nalapat said. The railways being targeted, the threats we have seen to railway tracks, the airlines getting targeted, and now actual bomb blast happening in Delhi. Is this really the time for the opposition to be trying to put the government on the mat when Justin Trudeau has just lost his mojo and is trying to manipulate the India-Canada relationship to salvage his political career? Syed Asad Abbas, can we be a little more responsible?
Abhishek Saab, absolutely. We certainly can be responsible, because I've always believed with great power there is great responsibility and equal accountability. In the own words of our Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji, who once said, opposition is the backbone of democracy, and he welcomes the criticism which comes along. Therefore, we need to understand, for the best functioning of a democracy, the opposition needs to keep the ruling dispensation in check. For instance, for all that is happening in a country, undoubtedly, India is a progressive country. We are a Vishwa Guru. We are a country to look out for in the world of today. The fact of the matter, what is happening, the hoax calls at the airport or the low-intensity bombing which is taking place, this is a wake-up call to the Home Ministry, the Intelligence Bureau, the Research and Analysis Wing. Everybody needs to come together along with the National Investigation Agency.
Why there a suggestion, Syed Asad Abbas, that it's not already happening and the agencies are not doing their job? My question is, why create a situation where they actually slow down because the opposition wants, like Manish Tiwari does, parliamentary oversight over intelligence agencies.
Parliamentary oversight, if you look at Abhishek Saab, that has been the world over, be it the United States of America or the France or even in Russia and many other places across the world and countries are looking at parliamentary oversight when it comes to national interest, national security. Second point, he had also drafted a bill on the same front which unfortunately couldn't be tabled. Be it the UPA to blame or even the Bharatiya Janata Party, that needs to come together because I believe matters of national interest, matters of national security, the opposition and the government need to come together in a united stand. Pawan Khera ji made a very important point that on these matters, we will stand with the government of India. Now, the second point, coming to a Trudeau, I feel, looking at it globally, is a leader who's lost his respect. He's trying the best to salvage his situation, but this weak leader, Trudeau, has absolutely no evidence against India. He is on a losing wicket in the next upcoming Canada elections. So therefore, in order to keep his vote bank happy, he can do his petty politics. But mind you, we as India are a global leader to look out for, or a Justin Trudeau or other vested interest cannot move that aside. The only factor, Abhishek Saab, the only factor that needs to be determined here is, of course, the NIA is doing its best, the Ministry of Home Affairs, but we need to take the level higher. We need to be more vigilant. We need to be out there so that these hoax calls can be traced at the earliest. And mind you, no one should be able to repeat this. And terrorism must be dealt with iron hands and no other way to go.
Syed Asad Abbas, what you are suggesting is, what you are, your position is akin to hunting with the hounds and running with the hare. You are trying to, do a balancing act, which is actually looking like that. You're not taking a position. You're not taking a position. You're not taking a position because it's indefensible.
I have. India first. Like Republic says, India first.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That needs to be, of course, appreciated. Okay. So I'm flipping it. So I'll go to Akhil Swami later. I'm going to Karan Verma next because Karan, you have some food for thought coming in from Syed Asad Abbas. I quoted Manish Tiwari because he posted a couple of days back that there should be a parliamentary oversight over intelligence agencies. This is in such a hot situation, a full-blown diplomatic war, so to say, between India and Canada, and in fact, in some ways, between India and the United States also, for a parliamentarian and someone who has been a minister 2 terms to be suggesting that, okay, fine, let's look at our own agencies first. This is like you are taking a position which helps the enemy.
Absolutely. And Abhishek, honestly, the Mumbai Congress handle had tweeted at length about it. And just when they thought that it wasn't cutting much political capital, they deleted it, in which they had cast aspersions on our own agencies and pretty much sided with what US and Canada were saying. So, this has been a stated position of the Congress. The Congress, they can side with the enemy if they can see the Bharatiya Janata Party or Modi fail. They don't care whether the country is failing in the process of that. That is how desperate they are. I appreciate what my friend Abbas said. He put country first, and that is what every opposition should also do. Unfortunately, the Congress has completely failed at it. They've totally failed at it. And, when we talk of national security, Abhishek, I'm so glad that even an explosion today is drawing this kind of attention, which it should, because back in 2008, I remember, we've come a long way. There were 70 blasts causing civilian deaths in Delhi itself in 2008, one single year. And it didn't raise much of an alarm. We had a terrible situation as far as internal security is concerned. I mean, just look at the data. How far we've come in terms of national security, in terms of eliminating the red corridor, where incidents today are down by 72%. Or even terror incidents in Jammu and Kashmir or stone pelting, which has been pretty much reported. So we've come a long way. Of course, there is no scope for complacency. And Canada, for that matter, Abhishek, Canada today is come into the same category as Pakistan. It is harboring terrorists. It's a failed nation in decline, and it's making a mockery of itself.
In some ways, perhaps, it's worse than Pakistan. Remember, we continue to have our Deputy High Commissioner in Pakistan, and there are no tit-for-tat measure insofar as diplomatic staff strength is concerned, being taken between the two sides since 2019. And Akhil Swami, it seems everyone says nation first, including Syed Asad Abbas. It's just the Congress party which is not able to decide. You know, earlier in the morning we had such an unfortunate picture or a video of Sushil Kumar Shinde, former Home Minister of the country of the Congress party, fidgeting and not accepting that Afzal Guru was a terrorist, despite the fact that there was a Supreme Court order based on which the Congress party government at that time hanged him. But Sushil Shinde can't gather the courage to call Afzal Guru a terrorist. Remember, the Congress party has no stakes in Kashmir anymore still. Akhil Swami, this is a problem of the mindset that the Congress party is facing clearly when it comes to national security, as exemplified both by Sushil Kumar Shinde and Manish Tiwari.
See, Abhishek, I cannot understand as to what type of mindset you have. You are calling Congress anti-India, you are calling Congress pro-Pakistan, and you are asking questions to Sushil Kumar Shinde. Do you have any evidence that Congress is a anti-national party or it's a pro-Pakistan party? Number one. I cannot understand as to what Professor Nalapat wants to say. I cannot understand as to what Mr. Abbas wants to say. See, the point is, Mr. Nalapat says that India is a safe place to investments. And on the other side, he says that the foreign elements are attacking our railways, they are attacking our airlines. They have the courage to blast a bomb in the CRPF school campus. And what type of safety is it? So I'm not a politician. I'm a practicing Sanatani. I'm a practicing Hindu. And I do not know, you had the narrative against a population which is, again, Hindus are only 100 crores in a population of 700 crores. You took enmity with 150 crores population of the world. Now you want to challenge the Christians. But now you want enmity with Canada.
Are you suggesting that our economy is being targeted? Are you suggesting that's a very serious charge you are making, Akhil Swami. It's very irresponsible. You are saying Hindus are doing it. What are Hindus doing? Are you suggesting that 100 crore Hindus are on a war path with all the Christians and all the Muslims of the world? That's a preposterous suggestion to make.
Other countries, the rogue countries, to attack your economy. You are an incompetent government. You should be replaced. But you are allowing the railway accidents to take place every 2 days. You are allowing the bridges to collapse. You are allowing bomb blasts to take place, and I do not know.
What do you mean by allowing? Professor Nalapat, I need to get you in here. He is suggesting that this is happening because the government is allowing this.
Not in the safe hands. Nation is not in the safe hands. I'm not a politician. I'm a Sanatani.
But you are taking a political position, Akhil Swami.
Abhishek, let me point out that India is not a small country. We have 1.4 billion people and 400 million people. And the good news is that this particular thing was a crude device. And had it been a more sophisticated device, there would have been a lot more worry of where this device was manufactured, where it was assembled, and how it has been placed. But this is obviously using a lot of amateurs, if I may say so, sometimes even school children, to do low-intensity events like this.
The government is allowing that. The government is allowing that. We are unsafe. We are unsafe. Because of this government, we are unsafe.
No, we are unsafe, Akhil Swami. You know, we are unsafe because the kind of security strategy the Congress party had, where despite the fact that your air chief at that time said that we should go and teach a lesson to Pakistan after 26/11, the Congress party government at that time chose not to do that. Okay, but let Madhav Nalapat complete. I'm coming to you. Let Madhav Nalapat complete. Let Madhav Nalapat complete.
Yeah, I only want to say that fortunately, the railways, most of them have been discovered before a train could pass through the tracks.
After the blast has taken place. After the blast has taken place.
I'm talking about the...
Hold on, Akhil Swami, hold on. Let him complete. I'm coming to you.
Please, let me tell you that relative to the intensity of the effort of the attacks against us, I can tell you that in my view, a large number of them have been diffused. And if you're asking to diffuse every one of them, It is simply not possible. But the reality is, overall,
15 months,
I mean, they're all
Manipur is
in
burning.
India. They're all working in India.
Speak
We don't
on
feel unsafe
Manipur.
working in India.
Speak on Manipur.
And frankly, so many companies are working in India. So many companies are coming into India. And this impression that's being created that India is an unsafe place, I think that is a very unfortunate impression.
I'll tell Akhil Swami.
The future of
Professor
India
Nalapat,
and
sorry.
damages the prospect
Tell
of
me
jobs
as to
for you.
how-
Professor
Manipur
Nalapat,
is
sorry to
burning
be
for last
interjecting, just
16
giving you
months.
some facts for
Who
Akhil
is
Swami. Akhil
responsible
Swami,
for
you know
that?
what is unsafe India, I tell you. 2007, bombings in Varanasi
Don't
and
go into
Lucknow
past. We
and
have a
Kanpur.
government and we are asking questions to the
2008,
government.
serial bombings in
So would you
Jaipur,
ask questions to
Ahmedabad,
Tipu Sultan and
Bombay,
Hyder Ali?
Mumbai.
Why ask questions to
2011 Mumbai bombings in Mumbai, 2006
Arey,
bombings in
Manipur is
Mumbai,
burning for last
2011 bombings in
Manipur
Delhi,
is burning for last
2013
16
bombings in
months.
Patna.
And the incompetent government is not able to handle that.
That was incompetence. Every
Arey,
6
yaar,
months,
kuch-
serial blasts. Every
Come to
3
the
months,
present.
serial blasts happening
Come
in
to the
2008.
Manipur is burning for 16 months.
Now you go to Manipur.
Tell me,
I am
Abhishek, what is
discussing
happening
what
in
has
Manipur?
happened over the last 1 week. Of course, it's serious. That's why we are discussing
Arey,
Akhil
Manipur,
Swami.
talk
We are
about
not
Manipur.
brushing it under the carpet, but the manner in which
talk on
opposition is
Manipur.
conducting
Speak on
itself is
Manipur.
really unfortunate. Okay. Karan Verma, you want to respond to Akhil Swami? He's saying your government is irresponsible and citizens are not safe
Incompetent.
because the government failed to stop these blasts.
तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अभिषेक आई रिक्वेस्ट अखिल जी कि प्लीज बोलने दीजिएगा, बीच में मत इंटरप्ट करिएगा, मैं आपकी बातों का जवाब देना चाह रहा हूं. ही स्टार्टेड बाय कैस्टिगेटिंग यू अभिषेक एंड सेड हाउ डेयर यू से दैट कांग्रेस इज प्रो पाकिस्तान एंड एंटी नेशनल.
No, I did not say Congress is pro-Pakistan, even if it is. I did not say that.
No, I am saying this and I am proving him how. Right after 26/11, it was Digvijay Singh who launched this book 26/11 RSS की
बिरयानी खाने
साजिश.
कौन गया था? बिरयानी
सर आप
खाने
बोलने
कौन गया
दीजिए
था?
प्लीज आप बोलने
बिरयानी
दीजिए
खाने
सर.
कौन गया था भाई? ये बताइए.
अब देखिए अभिषेक, दिस इज नॉट फेयर नाउ. Let me speak now. 26/11 RSS की साजिश इज व्हाट दिग्विजय सिंह who said. मणिशंकर अय्यर goes to Pakistan and says आप हमारी मदद करिए, मोदी को यहां से हटा दीजिए. अफजल गुरु 9th February 2016 in JNU, they stage an event, political execution of Afzal Guru, and those same people today, Kanhaiya and their ilk today, are in the Congress party. So, you know, when we say that the Congress has sided with Pakistan time and again, given them a clean chit, be it in Samjhauta, where they coined saffron terror, and I say this with conviction, if not for Tukaram Ombleji who caught Kasab, they would have furthered this theory of saffron terror and Indians are terrorists, giving Pakistanis a free run. Where even US agencies have said that LET was involved in Samjhauta, but our agencies under the Congress party was busy giving Pakistan a clean chit. So yes, Congress has had a soft corner for Pakistan and there are facts which corroborate that, Akhilji, with all due respect.
तो बिरयानी
Now,
किससे कौन खाने गया?
अब आप बिरयानी के, मैं जो आपको फैक्ट दे रहा हूं उस पर आप जवाब नहीं देंगे.
That's not a way to debate.
अब आप उसका जवाब नहीं देंगे.
Be on facts.
अरे
Akhil Swami,
बिरयानी
be on
खाने कौन
facts.
गया था? ये बता दो बस.
Akhil Swami,
He's
be on facts.
exposed, na. He cannot get because he's exposed on facts.
If you
I'm
talk
telling you.
about biryani khane kaun gaya tha, we will have to talk about Sharm el Sheikh, right? Then the whole debate gets diverted. My question is, okay, Akhil Swami, my question is,
Can I come in, Abhishek?
I'm coming to you, Sayyid Asad Abbas. Akhil Swami.
अरे you are on that side, Abbas. Let me speak. You are
Yes,
on that
I'm coming to you,
He
Akhil
has a
Swami.
problem with everyone.
That's the unfortunate
yeah,
situation Congress party
you are
finds
all,
itself in, or those who
anti-Sanatani
defend
people.
Congress party
You are
find themselves in.
anti-Sanatani.
That
You are anti-Hindu.
Akhil Swami has no company tonight. But okay, Akhil Swami, serious question. If you mention biryani khane kaun gaya tha, I'll have to mention Sharm el Sheikh, right? It was very Sharam wala kissa that happened in India's diplomacy. But you see, my question to you is, Akhil Swami, what's the compunction for Sushil Kumar Shinde to call Afzal Guru a terrorist? It's about a mindset. It's about vote bank mindset of the Congress party. Abhi bhi dar lagta hai. Supreme Court said Afzal Guru is a terrorist, hang him. And the Congress party government had to hang him. Despite that, today, Sushil Kumar Shinde in his autobiography is not able to call Afzal Guru a terrorist. Akhil Swami, defend that.
You have a anti-Dalit mindset.
Anti-Dalit mindset?
Yes.
How come? How come?
Sushil Kumar Shinde is a Dalit. And
So
that
I'm
is
not
why you have
anti-Sushil Kumar
you have a
Shinde.
Manuwadi
I'm not
mindset. You
anti-Sushil
have a
Kumar
Manuwadi
Shinde.
mindset.
In fact, I sympathize, empathize with him that he's in a situation, he's a prisoner of an ideology.
You are in a Brahminical
He's
mindset.
prisoner of an ideology which is imposed on him in the name of party discipline,
You are
Akhil Swami,
anti-Dalit.
that he
You are
can't
anti-Dalit.
speak truth.
You are anti-Dalit.
How come?
If a question is asked, he doesn't want to answer, fine.
Answer.
No issues.
I
And
mean,
you are calling
you're making me
Congress
laugh, Akhil Swami.
anti-India, pro-Pakistan, and you are giving so many allegations against the opposition party, which has ruled this country for 50 years, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And Congress has fought for the independence of India.
For
You
the
are
first
calling that
time on a
party
debate, Akhil
anti-national.
Swami, it's the Congress party. Is someone who's speaking for the Congress party is actually mentioning Jawaharlal Nehru. Generally, I thought it's the BJP who drags in Jawaharlal Nehru in debates.
You are anti-Dalit. You want to get the Constitution of India removed. You want Manuwad in this country.
What kind of diversion is this? Okay, Syed Asad Abbas.
All right.
You were joining in the laughter, but please
All right.
tell me
Okay, Abhishek
how
Sahab,
to
I think-
deal with Mr. Akhil Swami.
I'll tell you. I think, with all due respect to Akhil Swami Saab, I've heard him many a times. I think he's a very articulate person. I don't know what I said that he thinks I'm on the other side. Let me make my stand once again very clear. I've always believed सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा. हम
Who doesn't
बुलबुलें हैं
believe that?
इसके
Who
ये
doesn't
गुलसिता
believe that?
हमारा.
Who doesn't
No,
believe
allow
that?
me to. Allow me
Who
to.
doesn't
बड़े भाई,
believe that? Out of
बड़े भाई,
142 crores, not even a
Bade
single
bhai,
person
allow me
doesn't
to
believe in
complete
this.
my point, sir. Allow me to complete my point, sir. Thank you, Bade bhai. Firstly, I did criticize the government. I did say that opposition is the backbone of democracy, in the words of Modi ji himself. So therefore, when opposition criticizes for the best interest of the country, Modi ji needs to answer. The fact is, of course, I also mentioned that the ruling dispensation must wake up, smell the coffee, and see what's happening around. Be it the NIA. I also mentioned the Intelligence Bureau. I also mentioned the Research and Analysis Wing. I also spoke about Justin Trudeau and how he's rattled as a leader and what he's doing. So therefore, when it comes to matters of national security, national interest, not just my words, Akhil Sahab, the words of Pawan Khera ji has also been the same, that we need to be unified in one stand.
Akhil Swami,
Second
why
point,
can't we be unified? Why can't in this diplomatic war situation, the Congress party can let discretion be better part of valor?
Okay. Now also, to bring to the
Akhil
clarity,
Swami,
Abhishek
Akhil
sir,
Swami.
just
Syed Asad
30
Abbas, Akhil
seconds
Swami.
I complete. 30 seconds I complete, Abhishek
Okay,
sir.
do that.
Also, the fact of the matter, when you mentioned about the parliamentary oversight, with respect to Manish Tiwari, I completely defended that front. Because many of the world's democracies, largest democracy like US of A, France, and several others are practicing the same. Why so? To keep both the houses of parliament in order, to have a constructive strength, to move progressive as a nation, parliamentary oversight is indeed important. Therefore, I believe Manish Tiwari's bill should have come during UPA, or it's not been able to come till now. But later, I think the parliament must take it forward. That has been my point, which was very dearly missed by Akhil Saab. But nevertheless, the point that I'd like to derive today in the next 10 seconds, Abhishek Saab,
Okay,
that Modi ji's government, Amit Shah ji, need to be open to discussion with the opposition. That is very, very important.
Okay.
But they call opposition as anti-national.
No,
But
I did
they
not
are
say that.
calling anti-national.
I did not say that.
Congress
That is wrong,
anti-national.
sir.
I did not say that.
I believe be it the
Akhil
Congress
Swami, I
party
did not say that.
or any party.
But the
is
position
not
the Congress
anti-national.
party is
and
taking
BJP is nobody to give
ends
them
up
credit.
compromising India's position, and to that extent it is anti-national, Akhil Swami. You have to understand that. But Professor Nalapat, I tried to connect the dots.
Give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
Okay, Akhil Swami, quickly.
अच्छा, चीन के राष्ट्रपति को झूला एक आदमी झुलाए, वही आदमी पाकिस्तान में बिरयानी खाए, और आप जो है कांग्रेस को कहेंगे प्रो चाइनीज एंड प्रो पाकिस्तानी. Is that fair?
MOU किसने साइन किया? Who signed the MOU with the Chinese Communist Party and not the president of the Chinese state?
अरे झूला किसने झुलाया ये बताइए.
That was Prime Minister of India welcoming President of China. It was not a political leader signing an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. What understanding? Not clear till now with the Chinese Communist Party. Akhil Swami,
भाई हमारे दुश्मन को झूला क्यों झुलाया?
अरे पर दुश्मन के साथ अंडरस्टैंडिंग किसने करी?
पाकिस्तान हमारा दुश्मन है, उसके बिरयानी खाने क्यों गए आप? हमारा दुश्मन है
Again, you are
पाकिस्तान।
digressing, Akhil Swami, and this can continue, but Professor Nalapat, I want to get you on this. As a national security expert, you see, I was trying to connect the dots in the beginning, and you helped bringing in the railway tracks angle. You know, in this airline bomb threat calls that have been received 90 plus now in the last 1 week, Professor Nalapat, they have come through use of VPNs, multi-layered VPNs, and some of them have been traced to places like London, San Francisco. Obviously, there is somebody clearly targeting India's economy, and we have to get to the bottom of it. We can't present a disunited picture, Professor Nalapat.
Well, India's economy is doing pretty well in terms of the rate of growth, etc. But what they're targeting is a perception of Indian economy, and that the economy is basically, functioning in a country that is not safe. And the effort is to create that perception. And my point is, Abhishek, this is an effort that is intended to cause jobs losses in India,
right,
to cause absence of job expansion in India at the expense of other countries. So I think this is something in which all of us need to work together. And I quite agree with Mr. Swami, 1.4 crore Indians, very few of them can be called, hostile to the idea of India. I mean, there's no question of that. No, but the reality is, there is a serious effort by what I have long called the Sino-Wahhabi lobby to disrupt this country and to create chaos.
No, we don't know.
Frankly, I want to end by saying, Abhishek, Wahhabis are hiding behind the Muslim community.
I don't know,
Wahhabis
Professor
are
Nalapat.
fringe, and the fringe will never represent any community.
Professor Nalapat, so far as today's blasts are concerned in Delhi, there is a claim that has been made by a little unknown kind of organization or platform called Justice League India. Seems like connected with these Khalistani elements. The Delhi police has not yet confirmed anybody's role. It's under investigation. We would know for sure soon, and as we get to know it, we will of course share it with our viewers. But the fact of the matter is that there is clearly a case of some foreign elements in coordination, in tandem, targeting India's march to progress, and we have to present a united picture. There can't
why
be
government is allowing that? Why government is allowing the attempts to destabilize
and
the
compromise
economy
of
the
national
country?
security? It can't be allowed. Thank you so much, Syed Asad Abbas, Akhil Swami, Professor Nalapat. Karan Verma stays with me, ladies and gentlemen. India alliance is collapsing, it seems, like a house of cards. Now, there is rift in the alliance ahead of Jharkhand and Maharashtra elections. While stalemate continues in MVA over seat sharing, in the state of Jharkhand, the RJD has decided to fight solo because they believe that the Congress party is unsharing and uncaring as an alliance partner. The question is, will the Indi be able to keep their flock together? Let's look at the developments of the day and then we come back for a discussion.
Ahead of the Maharashtra polls, cracks within the Indi continue to widen. A drift is being reported in the Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance in the state over the allocation of seats for the ensuing assembly elections. At the heart of the disagreement is the allocation of crucial seats in regions such as Vidarbha, Mumbai and Nasik. One of the key flashpoints is Nasik West, where on one hand, Thackeray faction has been pushing for Sudhakar Badgujar's candidacy, and on the other, Congress remains adamant on fielding its own candidate. Amid the seat-sharing deadlock, Uddhav Thackeray met with the party leaders. However, as per sources, Uddhav Sena leaders left the MVA meet midway. The Central Election Committee meet of Congress was also cancelled.
महाराष्ट्र विधानसभा चुनाव को लेकर बीजेपी ने अपनी पहली लिस्ट जारी कर दिया है। वहीं महाविकास अघाड़ी में सीट बंटवारों को लेकर विवाद लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है। आज दिल्ली में होने वाली कांग्रेस मीटिंग को भी रद्द करना पड़ा क्योंकि शिवसेना उद्धव ठाकरे गुट को उस लिस्ट को मान्य नहीं है। 10 से ज्यादा सीटों को लेकर शिवसेना उद्धव ठाकरे गुट और कांग्रेस में विवाद है और इसी विवाद को लेकर लगातार दोनों नेताओं में मतभेद देखने को मिल रहे हैं।
Meanwhile, a similar crisis has now gripped the Indi partners in Jharkhand. The standoff has intensified with RJD MP Manoj Jha voicing his dissent over seat allotment.
हम 5 सीटों पर रनर अप रहे, बाकी हमारे गठबंधन के सहयोगी लोग शायद उतनी सीटों पर परसेंटेज टर्म्स में रनर अप नहीं रहे। इन चीजों का समायोजन हमें दुख के साथ कहना पड़ता है कि यूनिलैटरल फैसला लिया गया कि आपको फलाने नंबर ऑफ सीट का ऑफर दिया जा रहा है।
As the Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra and the India Alliance in Jharkhand struggle with internal tensions, one question looms large. Will the ever-intensifying standoff weaken their fight against the Saffron Party?
All right, Karan Verma continues to stay with us from the earlier debate, and joining me now, Naresh Kamath, senior journalist. He's joining us live from Mumbai. He's going to give us perspective on Maharashtra politics. We also have Ravi Srivastav, political analyst, typically leans towards the Aam Aadmi Party. He's also joining us live from Delhi tonight, in fact, generally does from Mumbai. And I want to begin with Nikhil Jain, political analyst, advocate, leans towards the Congress Party. It seems no lessons learned, Nikhil, from the Haryana debacle. Now you have RJD. Unfortunately, as Manoj Jha said, Congress not listening to them and not playing fair on seat sharing, and hence they have said that we will go and announce our own candidates in Jharkhand. You are in trouble. Nikhil.
Abhishek, I think you're reading too much into what Professor Jha has said. He's never said that the Congress is acting unfair with them. He's only saying that the party's expectations, RJD's expectations, have not been met out in the seat sharing that has been announced by the JMM and the Congress. I'm sure the alliance will iron out the difficulties between it, and they are going to reach a settlement and a seat sharing number that is amenable to all. And this is not the first time that this is happening with the India Alliance or with the NDA, for that matter, because this is how alliances usually are, that there will be pushes and pulls. There will be parties and leaders who would be disappointed or not happy in the manner that the seats are distributed, and it does take some time to iron out. I wish it didn't take it as long, but I'm pretty sure you won't see a problem because the alliance has fought multiple elections together and has done that successfully.
In a way, your defense of the Congress Party conduct is actually an admission, Nikhil Jain, that no lessons have been learned, because exactly that's what happened in Haryana. The Aam Aadmi Party and Ravi Srivastav would vouch for it. I'm sure Ravi Srivastav, you know what...
Abhishek, that was different.
It was not different. The state was different, of course, because that's Absolutely Haryana and this is Jharkhand.
No, other than the state.
But the conduct of the Congress Party is similar.
No, I'll tell you the three key differences.
It's for the allies, you see. It's not for me and not for, the viewers are watching it. Ravi Srivastav, you know what the Aam Aadmi Party said after the Haryana results? Sun liya hota humko, share kar liya hota. Exactly what Akhilesh Yadav also said, Ravi Srivastav, right? Now same is happening in Jharkhand with the RJD saying, Congress Party, what are you up to? Can't you, we are strong in 20, 22 seats, at least give us a dozen. Ravi Srivastav, deja vu.
Abhishek, election defeats are not to be mourned forever. Those are to be forgotten and move forward. Yes, that did happen. There was a seat bargain between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, and Aam Aadmi Party was very hopeful that Congress would accommodate them. But that did not happen. Perhaps what I understood is that the central leadership of Congress was in favor of that, but the local leadership led by Shri Hooda and his group was not in favor of it. That's why it fell out. But here is not a situation in Maharashtra. Maharashtra situation is far, far better as far as the MBA is concerned. The Aghadi is well ahead. And actually, you give me some 30 seconds. I'll just explain that why this is happening. See, 29 months before, when Shiv Sena was splitted, and then subsequently 17 months before, the NCP was splitted. So that particular game which was played by the BJP with the electorate of, with the MLAs, changing sides and selling, buying, khoka, etc., that has not gone from the memory of Maharashtra voters. And they have shown, they have exhibited it in the Lok Sabha elections. The BJP was reduced to the grand only single digit, and that is 9 seats. And of course, the Shinde Sena did perform slightly better, but it's a fact that people are not in favor of this kind of money back politics and people stabbing the original party, etc. And there is a lot of confusion. There is a lot of confusion. I go and ask my MLA that which party you were in, sir. I understand that he was in erstwhile Shiv Sena or in erstwhile NCP. So people say that why should we vote for these kind of people? And you know that Maharashtra has got the situation, the law and order. An ex-minister is shot dead point blank, and this is the situation in the state. That Maharashtra in the farmers.
That too by a prisoner who's lodged in a jail in Gujarat.
We don't know. Nikhil Jain, we don't know. No conclusion yet. In fact, this has to be contradicted because you see the possibility of SRA angle, insofar as the Baba Siddiqui murder is concerned, is much more than Lawrence Bishnoi. So I have to correct you there. It's an open probe still. But let me get in Naresh Kamath into this. Naresh Kamath, Ravi Srivastav says Maharashtra situation is better for the Indie bloc and the Congress party. It seems he did not hear the Dasara speech of Uddhav Thackeray. Otherwise, he would have had a different appraisal, perhaps. Naresh Kamath, the kind of comments Uddhav Thackeray has made since Dasara, essentially harping on the fact that he is part of the alliance only so long as he can be made the chief ministerial face. You think the MVA is not as good as Ravi Srivastav wants us to believe?
No, the MVA is in a very bad shape now. Now we can see in the very seat sharing now, Raut had to walk out. Now the problem is Vidarbha. In Vidarbha Lok Sabha, they have 10 seats. Out of 10 seats, 5 by one by the Congress and just 1 by Uddhav Thackre's party. Now, out of 62 assembly seats, they are demanding a major pie, Uddhav Thackeray. It will be a political suicide for Uddhav Thackeray if they go on insisting, because Congress has a very upper hand in Vidarbha, and then they have to really concede these seats to. Second thing is the NVA alliance had a majority in 158 assembly seats. I'm talking the Lok Sabha ones, and these have 125 seats. 158 is not a very big figure because 145 is the majority. So it's not a very big figure where you can really do anything like that. So the NVA should really get cracking. If you see the Mahayuti, Amit Shah and Modi handled it very well. Now there is no. Here they are just fighting. Yesterday at Trident Hotel, they had a 10-hour meeting, and 10 hours nothing was achieved. Today, the whole day was spent. Everyone, Aditya Thackeray is coming and meeting Sharad Pawar. Nana Patole is meeting Sharad Pawar. All want Sharad Pawar to intervene. If this is the situation now, imagine once it is declared, what will be the situation? I think they have not yet learned a lesson from Haryana. They have to now really do something for this.
Okay, they have to do something for this. Ravi Srivastav, do you get a clearer picture now? He's, Naresh Kamath is there on the ground and he's analyzing developments of the day. Sanjay Raut walking out of the MVA meeting, Aditya Thackeray rushing to meet Sharad Pawar, Nana Patole rushing to Delhi, and we had that soundbite of Nana Patole taking jibes at Sanjay Raut. And Uddhav wants, irrespective of whatever number of seats they win, he says, Chief Minister has to be ours. In fact, he, in his speech, quoted that earlier, for all the time that Shiv Sena, BJP were together, the formula was whichever party wins more seats gets the Chief Minister's chair. Now, he said, this is useless formula. If this is the formula that you have, whosoever gets more seats become the Chief Minister, then where is the alliance? The alliance has to be something else. That's whatever I could understand of his Marathi. So, Ravi Srivastav, it's not as comfortable and easy as you are trying to make it sound.
Such kind of positioning is always there in any alliance. Every party's workers, party's office bearers, they want their party person should become a chief minister. Uddhav Thackeray's own statement is there. He is not in the race to become a chief minister. I have read it clearly. It is there. He has said it that if they win more seats, definitely they can stake a claim for that. I think I found the most stable and appreciable statement is from Shri Sharad Pawar. He said, we want only 80 seats to contest. Say, let 100 be contested by Congress, let 100 be contested by the Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, and let the 80 seats be left for me out of 288. So he is more responsible, and we have heard the statements from none other than the Devendra Fadnavis, who has said that taking Ajit Pawar on board in the BJP has harmed the party. And the party had to pay the price in the Lok Sabha elections only because of Ajit Pawar.
Okay.
And more advertisements in Maharashtra coming out in the newspapers do not have Ajit Pawar's picture in that even. That's the situation.
Karan Verma.
You know, talking about this, that this Yuti is very strong or very sound. I think the Yuti is minus Ajit Pawar even at this stage. What
Karan
will happen
Verma.
later?
Just adding to what Ravi Srivastava is saying, of course, it seems with my own understanding of the situation and what Naresh Kamath has just narrated, maybe the MVA is in a soup in Maharashtra.
Yes.
But even for the BJP, look at the way the BJP had to give the Mahim seat to MNS. The fact that BJP might be contesting less number of seats this time vis-a-vis 2019. Ajit Pawar issue. So obviously, it's not as hunky-dory for the BJP also.
So it's never too hunky-dory, Abhishek, but they don't wash dirty linen in public, as we saw with Congress, whether it's in Jharkhand or in Maharashtra, where people are walking out and Manoj Jha is coming and talking to the press about what he wants, what he doesn't want. Nikhil has tried to normalize it, but it's not normal. And the BJP, in fact, the Mahayuti alliance, they are coming up with seats. Like, it's very clear now that the BJP is getting close to 151 seats, the Shiv Sena is getting 83 seats, and Ajit Pawar is getting 54 something seats. So they are coming up with seats, they are coming up with candidates. They are a united house. And let's understand this, Abhishek. After the loss in Haryana, it has absolutely sent shockwaves across the India alliance. Barely had they lost Haryana, Priyanka Chaturvedi passes the first statement that Congress cannot defeat BJP directly. The fact that Congress today is a weak fulcrum of the Mahavikas Aghadi or of the India alliance means this alliance is very weak. The Congress today is humiliated. They are fielding candidate against Priyanka Vadra in Kerala. The left hasn't shown any respect. The Congress isn't respected by any of its allies. Akhilesh Yadav went ahead and announced 6 seats for the UP by-polls. So everywhere now they want a pound of their flesh because they understand the Congress is on slippery ground. They cannot defeat the BJP. Nikhil was saying, oh, it's a different election. Well, elections change, states change. Congress आज भी वहीं खड़ी है. खड़ा हूं आज भी वहीं, वो गाना कांग्रेसी के लिए, वो वहीं खड़े हैं, वो वहीं इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि कब जीतेंगे. But they still remain there, and 47 out of the last 58 elections they've lost. So
Karan,
much the same story for them.
Karan, if you go by Lok Sabha election results and project those on the assembly segment, if you project those along the assembly segments, BJP, of course, clearly is winning Jharkhand, but BJP seems to be on a very thin ice in Maharashtra. They would be down from 105 to maybe anything between 40 to 60. Also,
that is where, Abhishek, I want to answer this.
Quickly, before I go to Nikhil, quickly.
That is where I think the genius of the BJP and their machinery is they course correct. You look at the yojnas they got after that, whether it was for soy and cotton farmers. They've given out a package of 5,000 per acres to 65 lakh farmers. For the Ladli Ladki Behan Yojana, 18 to 65, every woman getting 1,500. They've touched 1.8 crore women through this scheme. Yes, it is a reverie. I understand my friend Nikhil is itching to say that, but they have course corrected. So, their political acumen. Yeah, of course. I have criticized them for that. But
I would also criticize them for that. Because for all the campaign of welfare versus reverie,
their course correction.
The state government there, at least, maybe they can say that Shinde is doing it, but they're doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it. This is what their political acumen is. Congress had an advantage in Lok Sabha, Abhishek. You rightly said it. I'm just wondering that advantage. That shows what the Congress party is. They cannot win an election.
Okay, also, Karan, the fact that Manoj Jarange Patil today announced that he's going to contest and 10 to 15 seats, and he's anti-BJP, so maybe cutting some votes. But Nikhil, last word to you quickly, because the Congress is on the defensive here. As Karan said, and that's what my question was, that there is no scope for course correction in the Congress party scheme of things, it seems.
Absolutely not, Abhishek. So a couple of things Karan said. First of all, he said that the Congress is the weakest link. in the Mahavikas Aghadi, which is absolutely not correct if you look at the 2019 State Assembly election results, or if you look
As
at
they say in corporate
Lok Sabha
world, the
elections of
strongest
2024.
link in the chain is the weakest link. So even if you are saying that the Congress party is strong, it's perhaps the weakest link.
Absolutely not. Abhishek, absolutely not. Secondly, the point that I was making earlier about the states being different in terms of Haryana, Jharkhand and Maharashtra is that Haryana is a state where the fight is clearly between BJP versus Congress. And last thing, you're saying that the allies of the Congress do not respect it. What about Omar Abdullah leaving out a ministerial berth in the Jammu and Kashmir cabinet, despite the fact that the Congress has said that we are going to support it from outside? The fact is
Omar
that the
Omar Abdullah held the mirror to the Congress party. It should have campaigned properly in Jammu. It has not done so. Okay, fine. Thank you so much, Nikhil Jain, Ravi Srivastav, Naresh Kamath, and Karan Verma for joining us. We had a great conversation. Maharashtra election is just hotting up. We'll keep coming back to it. And with that, we come to an end of this conversation. Thanks for watching. Short break. Live and Breaking is back on the other side. And of course, tomorrow 8 p.m. Super Prime Time Max. Arnav Goswami is back with the debate.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Another attempt at derailment occurred on the Kerala-Mangalore route. This incident took place in Mangalore's Tokutu village following a series of back-to-back incidents. Preliminary investigations revealed that two intruders were seen placing stones on both sides of the railway track. This alarming act that has raised significant concerns yet again about train derailment bid. Residents rushed to the tracks after feeling strong vibrations during the incident. This event that has sparked fears of a possible criminal conspiracy, especially in light of recent warnings from terrorist organizations.
कोर एजेंडा के मुद्दों पर ये बात चल रही है कि आपके हाथ बंधे हुए हैं।
हमारा कोर
आपके हाथ
एजेंडा
बंधे, आप करना चाहते हैं मगर आप 240 एमपीज के साथ नहीं कर पाएंगे।
कोर एजेंडा में कहा गया धारा 370 इस देश में कभी नहीं हटेगी, हटी। कहा गया कि धारा 370 हटने के बाद कभी भी लोकतांत्रिक तरीके से चुनाव नहीं होंगे, हुए। कोर एजेंडा था मंदिर बनाएंगे, बना। कोर एजेंडा ये भी था कि तीसरी बार हम भाजपा का प्रधानमंत्री बनाएंगे, बनाया।
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
स्मृति जी, आपको लोग मिस कर रहे हैं बहुत, मतलब पीपल वांट टू सी यू मोर एक्टिवली। मे बी आप जो भी कर रही हैं, यू आर डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आउटसाइड द कैमरा, आउटसाइड द फोकस। एम आई राइट? पीपल वांट टू सी यू मोर इन, हाँ? इज am I correct in this, स्मृति जी?
मुझे लगा आज तक सिर्फ दिल मांगे मोर कोल्ड ड्रिंक के लिए कहा जाता था, अब पता चला कि देश की राजनीति में भी योगदान देने के लिए लोग इस प्रकार की चाहत रखते हैं। आई थिंक आई एम वेरी लकी कि भारतीय राजनीति में मैं अपने लिए एक छोटी सी वो जगह बना पाई।
नहीं, वो तो है, मगर स्मृति जी इलेक्शन में अप डाउन तो होते हैं, मगर इस बार चुनाव के बाद पीपल वांट टू नो, मैं यही इसी बात से शुरुआत करना चाहता हूँ कि व्हाट इज स्मृति ईरानी डूइंग दीज डेज? आपको हरियाणा के कैंपेन में बहुत देखा इस बार, एंड कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस ऑन हरियाणा। व्हाट इज कीपिंग यू बिजी?
संगठन का काम और साथ ही जिस उद्देश्य के साथ, जिस मकसद के साथ राजनीति में आई थी, चाहे वो महिलाओं के संदर्भ में काम हो, चाहे वो छोटे व्यापारी हों, उनको कैसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था में एक सम्मानजनक स्थान मिले उसका कार्य हो, बच्चों के संबंध में जो कार्य है, तो इन सारे सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ देश में और विदेश में काम कर रही हूँ। मुझे लगता है कि बहुत कम लोग इतने नसीबदार होते हैं कि देश में दो अलग अलग खेमों में नहीं बल्कि अलग अलग स्ट्रीम्स में अपने लिए जगह बनाएं। मैं 2 दशक मीडिया में रही, मैं 2 दशक से ज़्यादा देश की राजनीति में हूँ और दोनों स्ट्रीम्स में सफलता पाना बहुत कम लोगों के नसीब में होता है, मेरे है।
आप अमेठी से अगली बार लड़ेंगी?
मैंने 2014 में, 2019 में और 24 में बार बार ये कहा कि कौन कहाँ से लड़ता है ये पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड डिसाइड करती है। जहाँ तक कि अमेठी का उल्लेख है, 2014 में जब मुझे कहा गया कि मैं अमेठी जाकर लड़ूं, तब मैं राज्यसभा से गुजरात से सांसद थी
जी।
मैं जोग्राफिकली और सिफोलॉजी की दृष्टि से सबसे वेल ट्रैवल्ड पॉलिटिशियन हूँ। मैंने साल 2002-03 में जब अपनी पॉलिटिक्स की शुरुआत की तो मैं महाराष्ट्र में काम करती थी, वहाँ 10 साल काम किया, फिर गुजरात में काम करती थी, फिर मैं उत्तर प्रदेश में काम कर रही थी। तो जब गुजरात से सांसद थी और कहा गया कि अमेठी से लड़ो, तब हमें इस बात का एहसास था कि अमेठी में हर 1.5 दशक में परिवर्तन आता है। अमेठी का अगर आप कहीं ना कहीं वोटिंग का पैटर्न देखें और कॉम्पोजिशन देखें तो वहाँ पर लगभग 55% वोटिंग कॉम्पोजिशन कांग्रेस के पक्ष में है। इसीलिए गांधी खानदान ने उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी को चुना था कि एक ऐसी जगह चुनो जहाँ पर 100 मीटर की रेस में 55 मीटर पे आपकी शुरुआत हो। तो मैं अमेठी में पहली वो व्यक्ति हूँ, महिला पुरुष नहीं, पहली व्यक्ति हूँ जिसने 5 साल का बतौर सांसद कार्यकाल पूरा किया। वरना अमेठी में मुझसे पहले कभी भी किसी नॉन कांग्रेस कैंडिडेट ने 5 साल कभी पूरा नहीं किया था। रविंद्र प्रताप सिंह ने 70 के दशक में 2.5 से 3 साल वहाँ पर सेवा दी, संजय सिंह ने 1 साल सेवा दी। मैं पहली महिला हूँ जो गांधी खानदान से नहीं है जो अमेठी से जीती, और पहली ऐसी भारत की राजनीति में व्यक्ति हूँ जिसने कांग्रेस के सिटिंग नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट को हराया। तो वो सारे खिताब मेरे लिए वंदनीय हैं। लेकिन ये भी सत्य है, ना 14 में, ना 19 में, ना 24 में मैंने बीजेपी से कहा कि मुझे अमेठी से लड़ना है। बीजेपी को लगा कि अमेठी में हम कड़ी टक्कर देना चाहते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री का अगर आपको भाषण याद है 2014 का, उन्होंने कहा मैं अमेठी में बदले की भावना से नहीं, बदलाव की भावना से आया हूँ। मुझे इस बात का संतोष है, इस बात की खुशी है कि जिस अमेठी में 80,000 घरों में आज़ादी के बाद कभी भी बिजली की तार नहीं गई, वहाँ मोदी के माध्यम से हमने बिजली पहुँचाई। 3 लाख से ज़्यादा घरों में हमने शौचालय बनाया। हमने 1.5 लाख परिवारों को घर बना कर दिया। हमने वहाँ का पहला मेडिकल कॉलेज बनाया। हमने वहाँ पर पहली बार, जो हम शहरों में बहुत ही आम बात मानते हैं कि आपका एक एक्सरे का मशीन हो, आपका अल्ट्रासाउंड का मशीन, ये सब सुविधाएं भी नहीं थी वहाँ पर। तो मैंने अगर अमेठी में 10 साल की अपनी राजनीति में 4 लाख से ज़्यादा परिवारों का भला किया है तो मैं अपने जीवन की वो सबसे बड़ी उपलब्धि मानती हूँ।
नहीं, मगर आपने देखिए राहुल गांधी वर्सेस स्मृति ईरानी
जी,
क्या आप राहुल गांधी के साथ फिर एक बार 2029 या जब भी जो आम चुनाव हो, क्या आप लड़ेंगे कि नहीं? आई मीन वी जस्ट वांट टू बी वेरी क्लियर ऑन दैट। आपने उस कंस्टिट्यूएंसी को आपने इस कंस्टिट्यूएंसी को आपने अपनाया है, अपना बेस बनाया है। अब 1.5 दशक तो नहीं रुक सकते हैं।
देखिए, मैंने कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी को अपनाया, उन्होंने कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी छोड़ दी, ये फर्क है।
उन्होंने वायनाड छोड़ी, उन्होंने
हाँ,
वायनाड छोड़ी।
छोड़ने की उनकी फितरत है, उस पर मैं टिप्पणी नहीं करूंगी। लेकिन ये भी सत्य है कि 24 के चुनाव में अगर उन्हें लगता कि वो अमेठी जीत सकते हैं, या प्रियंका जी को लगता कि वो अमेठी जीत सकती हैं, तो अमेठी ज़रूर लड़ते। उनका ना लड़ना सबसे पहला संकेत था कि उन्हें भी भय था कि वो हार रहे हैं।
क्या आप रायबरेली जाएंगे?
इतना काम हमने किया।
क्या आप रायबरेली जाएंगे?
मैं कहाँ जाऊंगी ये मेरी पार्टी बताएगी। लेकिन हाँ, इतना ज़रूर है कि पॉलिटिकली अगर आप किसी न्यूज़ चैनल पर देखें तो ऐसा लगता है कि द्वंद्व स्मृति ईरानी और राहुल गांधी के बीच का है।
जी। लेकिन
द्वंद्व 2 आइडियोलॉजीज के बीच का है। एक जो कहता है राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि और दूसरा जो कहता है परिवार सर्वोपरि।
नहीं, मगर आपके साथ तो प्रॉब्लम है उनका, पूरी जोर लगा के लोगों ने अपने कंस्टिट्यूएंसीज, अपने क्षेत्र, भूपेंद्र बघेल अपने क्षेत्र को छोड़ के, अपने राज्य को छोड़ के, केसी वेणुगोपाल, पूरी कांग्रेस, प्रियंका पूरी कांग्रेस पार्टी अमेठी पहुंच गई। तो
भारत की राजनीति में शायद ही कोई महिला हो जिसको हराने के लिए पूरी कांग्रेस आए, इतना तो दम स्मृति ईरानी में है।
तो वो पूरी कांग्रेस पार्टी पहुंच गई कि कुछ भी हो जाए
जी,
अमेठी नहीं हार सकते हैं। तो ये क्या इशू है आपका उनके साथ या उनका आपके साथ?
मुझे लगता है कांग्रेस
ये पर्सनल कब हो गई?
मुझे लगता है जब मैंने कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष को हराया। एक भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सामान्य कार्यकर्ता में और महिला कार्यकर्ता में इतना दम हो कि वो कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष को, भारत के इतिहास में कभी नहीं हुआ, हरा दे, ये उनके जीवन भर की चुभन है। और ये भी सत्य है कि जिस जिस पड़ाव पर वो बोल रहे थे देश के खिलाफ, मेरी पार्टी के खिलाफ, तब तब मैं प्रखरता से बोल रही थी और जनता जनार्दन ने मेरा साथ दिया। ये भी उनकी दुखती रग है।
देश के खिलाफ का मतलब क्या है?
आप देखिए हमारी देश की किस किस व्यवस्था के खिलाफ उन्होंने बोला, देश के किस किस स्ट्रेटेजिक इंटरेस्ट के खिलाफ उन्होंने बोला।
उन्होंने मतलब गांधी वाड्रा परिवार ने।
मैं कहती हूँ अगर आप सिर्फ राहुल जी पर ही ध्यान केंद्रित रखें,
ओके, क्योंकि
वही माने जाते हैं सक्सेसर सोनिया जी के, तो सोनिया जी भी इतना नहीं बोली जितना राहुल जी बोले हैं। तो किस किस मुद्दे पर उन्होंने देश की स्ट्रेटेजिक इंटरेस्ट को कहीं ना कहीं घात करने का या आहत करने का प्रयास किया।
स्ट्रेटेजिक इंटरेस्ट यानी कि राष्ट्र विरोधी।
मैं कहती हूँ राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि करने के लिए जो चीज़ें दरकार थी, एक छोटा सा आपको उदाहरण देती हूँ। कोविड का वक्त था, देश पर मौत का साया मंडरा रहा था
जी।
हम चाहे किसी को भी वोट करें, हमारी चाहे कोई भी सोच हो
जी, लेकिन
हमारी सोच इतनी गिर नहीं सकती कि हम दूसरों को मौत के घाट उतारने पर उतारू हो जाएं जी, ताकि हम अपनी राजनीतिक रोटियां सेक सकें। उस वक्त जब देश के प्रधानमंत्री ये कह रहे थे कि हम कोविड में हिंदुस्तान में वैक्सीन बनाएंगे, तब एक जिम्मेदार विपक्ष के नेता होने के नाते उन्होंने राष्ट्रीय हित का समर्थन ना करते हुए प्रधानमंत्री पर, देश के तंत्रों पर ये दबाव बनाया कि हम विदेश से वैक्सीन लेकर आएं। बार बार प्रधानमंत्री के कहने के बावजूद कि भारत में क्षमता है, उन्होंने भारत की इस क्षमता पर देश में विदेश में भी बहुत बड़ा प्रश्न चिन्ह लगाया। ये हिंदुस्तान की काबिलियत और प्रधानमंत्री की दिलेरी का सबसे बड़ा प्रतीक है। हमने वैक्सीन हिंदुस्तान में बनाई, 2 करोड़ से ज़्यादा हमने जो वैक्सीन 200 करोड़ की हमने उपलब्धता उनको दी, 160 देशों को हमने वैक्सीन उपलब्ध कराई, 140 करोड़ के देश में हमने सभी नागरिकों को 2-2 डोज 3-3 डोज लगवाए। अगर राहुल गांधी का प्रेशर कोई मानता तो हम विदेशी कंपनियों की लाइन में तश्तरी लेकर खड़े होते इस उम्मीद के साथ कि जी कब हमको वैक्सीन मिलेगा।
तो क्या राहुल गांधी,
हम
तो क्या राहुल गांधी आप कह रहे विदेशी फार्मास्यूटिकल यानी कि विदेशी कंपनीज की ओर से बात कर रहे थे, या फिर वो कह रहे थे कि उन्हें कहलवाया?
आप मुझे बताइए, आप हिंदुस्तानी हैं, आप हिंदुस्तान की काबिलियत पर भरोसा जताएंगे या कहेंगे कि हिंदुस्तान पर भरोसा मत करो, विदेशी कंपनी पर भरोसा?
आप कहना क्या चाह रही है?
मैं जो कह रही हूँ साफ कह रही हूँ।
क्या आप कह रहे हैं राहुल गांधी?
आपको मैं 2 और उदाहरण देती हूँ।
नहीं, क्या आप कह रहे हैं?
मैं आपको 2 और उदाहरण देती हूँ।
किस चीज का उदाहरण?
एक मैंने वैक्सीन का उदाहरण दिया, दूसरा राहुल गांधी का अटैक था HAL पर, करेक्ट? सार्वजनिक उन्होंने जाकर वहाँ पर क्या भाषण दिया कि HAL भारत सरकार बंद कर रही है। हिंदुस्तान एरोनॉटिक्स लिमिटेड भारत की डिफेंस प्रिपेयर्डनेस के लिए और आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए एक प्रखर भूमिका निभा रही है। उनके प्रेशर देने के बावजूद HAL के अगर आप रिजल्ट्स देखें 1300% की वृद्धि हुई है। प्रधानमंत्री बार बार कह रहे हैं कि डिफेंस प्रिपेयर्डनेस में हमें आत्मनिर्भर होना चाहिए, और बार बार वो संस्था जो भारत को डिफेंस की दृष्टि से, आंतरिक सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से, हमारी सरहद की सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से बहुत ही क्षमतापूर्ण तरीके से समृद्ध कर सकती है, सशक्त कर सकती है, उसी HAL पर उन्होंने धावा बोला। तीसरा उदाहरण आपको देती हूँ, हम किस बात का दमखम रखते हैं, हम किस बात का घमंड करते हैं, अभिमान करते हैं कि हम विश्व की सबसे बड़ी लोकतांत्रिक शक्ति हैं। और राहुल गांधी ने विपक्ष के नेता होने के नाते किस चीज़ पर सबसे ज़्यादा चोट की? EVM पर की, इलेक्शन कमीशन पर की, भारत की लोकतांत्रिक प्रणाली पर की। चौथा उदाहरण देती हूँ।
एक मिनट, क्या आप कह रही हैं, बात अगर आप कह रही हैं तो खुलकर हो जाए, क्या स्मृति ईरानी जी आप कह रही हैं कि राहुल गांधी एक फॉरेन एजेंट है?
मैं कह रही हूँ कि वो
क्या फॉरेन कंपनीज के एजेंट है? खुलकर बात हो जाए। मैं तो इधर उधर की बात, आप इशारा उसी तरफ कर रही हैं।
ना, मैं खुलकर बोल रही हूँ। मुझे नहीं लगता इस देश में किसी को भी इस बात का संदेह है कि मैं खुलकर नहीं बोलती हूँ। मैं खुलकर बोल रही हूँ, और मुझे लगता है क्योंकि आप रिपोर्टिंग के माध्यम से जनता पर निर्भर करते हैं कि वो निष्कर्ष निकालें। आप मुझे बताएं कि जब मौत मंडरा रही हो, या बैक इज टू द वॉल, कौन कहेगा कि हिंदुस्तान की कंपनीज पर विश्वास मत करो? जब आप जानते हैं ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन्स रिस्ट्रिक्टेड है, लोग अपने देश के बॉर्डर्स बंद कर रहे हैं, तब अपने देश को सशक्त करने की बजाय आप कह रहे हैं कि नहीं जी, भीख का कटोरा लेकर किसी विदेशी कंपनी के सामने जाकर वैक्सीन की लाइन लगाओ। आप मुझे बताइए, जब आप कहते हैं कि हमें देश को आत्मनिर्भर करना है, वो कौन हिंदुस्तानी है, चाहे आप किसी को भी वोट करते हो, जो कहेगा कि हमें आत्मनिर्भर नहीं बनना है जी, हमें किसी और पे निर्भर करना है? अगर हम कहें कि हमारी सरहद पर हमारे जवान देश की रक्षा कर रहे हैं और अगर कोई आतंकी दस्ता हम पर हमला करता है जो स्टेट स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिस्ट है, कौन हिंदुस्तानी जाकर अपने देश की आर्मी से प्रमाण मांगेगा? मुझे बताइए। आज एक विदेशी सरकार बैठ के, मैंने कहा ना, आप लोकतांत्रिक ढांचे पे पहले अपनी ईवीएम पर, इलेक्शन कमीशन पर आप अटैक होते देखते हैं, फिर आप अपनी आर्थिक व्यवस्थाओं पर अटैक होते देखते हैं, अब आप आपकी मीडिया पर अटैक होते देख रहे हैं। आपने कभी सोचा था कि एक विदेशी ताकत, एक विदेशी सरकार हमारी देश की मीडिया को गोदी मीडिया कहेगी? कनाडा का एक कम्युनिकेशन हमारी देश की मीडिया को गोदी मीडिया कहता है। गोदी मीडिया तो विपक्ष कहता था। आज हमारे देश के जर्नलिस्ट, आपको तो बहुत प्रताड़ित किया है, लेकिन फर्स्ट पोस्ट हो, ANI हो, आपकी जी न्यूज़ हो, आपका CNN IBN का चैनल हो, आपके कितने मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस पर एक विदेशी ताकत हमला कर रही है?
नहीं, अब राहुल गांधी वाली बात जो कह रहे थे, मैं फिर से पूछ रहा हूँ, क्या आपको लगता है, कि आपको शंका है,
आपको लगता है वो एजेंट होने के काबिल हैं? मैं तो आपको ये कह रही हूँ।
तो ये आप कह रहे हैं कि ये इनकी लैक ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, मतलब कि देखिए कोई क्या उनको कोई यूज कर रहा है? नहीं, क्या ये गलतियां हैं? क्योंकि आपने कहा इलेक्शन के बाद आपने
अर्नब जी एक चीज
आपने एक
मैं आपकी ऑडियंस से एक चीज पूछ लूं, आपकी
नहीं, मैं 1 मिनट ये पूछ लेता हूं कि आपने कहा कि एक स्ट्रेटेजिक चेंज हुई है राहुल गांधी के पॉलिटिक्स में,
हाँ
है ना?
हाँ।
और जो आप इधर इंडिकेट कर रही है कि राहुल गांधी जो कर रहे हैं राष्ट्र विरोधी काम कर रहे हैं, विदेशी कंपनीज को हेल्प कर रहे हैं,
मैं आपको
नेशनल इंटरेस्ट के खिलाफ काम कर रहे हैं, तो क्या नहीं, क्या कोई उनको स्मृति जी यूज कर रहे हैं या फिर वो ऐसे ही हैं?
देखिए, आप तो मुझसे ऐसे टिप्पणी मांग रहे हैं जैसे कि
is he being manipulated by someone or is he doing this on his own?
Like I said, I am not biologically related to him, hence I cannot tell you about his genetic predisposition to manipulation from international agencies. I can only say this. How much of this is convenient for his politics is to be reflected upon.
और how much of this is convenient to other countries? मैं अलग तरीके से पूछूंगा, क्योंकि आज भारत जिस पोजीशन पे है, कोई भी यूज करना चाहेगा, कोई भी ऐसे ऑपोजिशन के नेता हो जो भारतीय राष्ट्रीय इंटरेस्ट के खिलाफ काम करे, तो कोई भी हमारी कंपीटिंग कंट्री, अमेरिका हो, जर्मनी हो, जापान हो या चीन हो, ये सारी कंट्रीज के साथ, या यूनाइटेड किंगडम हो, इनके साथ तो हम इकोनॉमिक कंपटीशन में है। नंबर 5 से हम नंबर 3 जाने वाले हैं। कई सारी कंट्रीज होंगी वो चाहेंगी कि इंडिया के डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट्स नहीं बढ़े, कई सारी कंट्रीज चाहेंगी कि इंडिया की फार्मास्यूटिकल प्रोडक्शन नहीं बढ़े, इंडिया की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बेस नहीं बढ़े। चाइना चाहेगी कि आईफोन्स अभी भी चीन में बने, कि आईफोन्स अगर इंडिया में बनने शुरू हो जाए तो किसी ना किसी, और राहुल गांधी ने क्या कहा अमेरिका में, कहा कि भारत की कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बेस है ही नहीं, सब चीन की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बेस है।
देखिए अर्नब जी, उनका क्या कथन है, वो उनके किस प्लेटफॉर्म पे खड़े हैं उस पर निर्भर करता है। आप कह रहे हैं कि किसी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय प्लेटफॉर्म पर जाकर कहते हैं वो कि भाई चीन में ये काबिलियत है कि चीन में ऐसी प्रिसीजन बेस्ड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो सकती है, लेकिन हरियाणा के चुनाव में आकर वो जलेबी की फैक्ट्री लगाना चाहते हैं।
वही तो सवाल है ना, कि वो जब खुद से कहते हैं तो फिर जलेबी की फैक्ट्री की बात करते हैं। मगर देखिए, ये दो अलग, एक मिनट, ये 2 अलग सिचुएशंस है स्मृति जी। खुद से जब राहुल गांधी जलेबी की फैक्ट्री एक्सटेम्पोर बात करते हैं, जब उनको कोई स्पीच लिख के नहीं देता, तो वो जलेबी की फैक्ट्री वाली लॉजिक का आता है। क्या उनकी स्क्रिप्ट कहीं से लिखी हुई है? जिस कारणवश, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री ने खुद कहा कि इस बार हरियाणा के चुनाव के बाद एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भाषण प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बीजेपी कार्यालय में दी, और पहली बार मोदी जी ने खुलकर कहा कि हमारे देश की एक पार्टी है, कांग्रेस पार्टी, ऐसा कुछ कहा जो विच इज पार्ट ऑफ अ फॉरेन कंस्पिरेसी अगेंस्ट इंडिया। उन्होंने कहा एक विदेशी षड्यंत्र है और हमें पता है, और शब्द मुझे याद नहीं, उन्हें खेद की बात है कि भारतीय पार्टी विदेशी षड्यंत्र का पार्ट बन चुकी है। तो ये जो है, इस बात की कोई नींव तो होगी। प्रधानमंत्री जी तो ऐसे ये बात नहीं कहेंगे, और जो भी आप इंडिकेट कर रही हैं ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो मेरा सवाल फिर से है, और ये जलेबी फैक्ट्री वाला लॉजिक नहीं है, जब ये स्ट्रेटेजिक बातें कहते हैं, जैसे वो चीन के साथ कोई अरेंजमेंट करके आते हैं, वो अपने माताश्री के जाके चीन के साथ एक सीक्रेट अंडरस्टैंडिंग कर देते हैं, या फिर जब हमारे सेना के लोग डोकलाम में फेस टू फेस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में होते हैं, उस वक्त वो साइड में एक 5 स्टार होटल में जाके चीन के एम्बेसडर के साथ सीक्रेट मीटिंग करते हैं। फिर वो अमेरिका में जाके बोलते हैं कि विदेशी देशों को भारत में इंटरफियर करना चाहिए। फिर कहते हैं ईवीएम नहीं चलती। फिर कहते हैं भारत में तो लोकतंत्र है ही नहीं, एवरीथिंग इज अ शैम। फिर कहते हैं कि हमारी देश की वैक्सीन ठीक नहीं है। फिर कहते हैं कि हमने तो पूरा लद्दाख दे दिया चीन को। ये सारी चीज़ें जो हैं, इन पर कोई कनेक्शन तो होगा ना। ये तो दीज आर नॉट स्टेटमेंट्स इन आइसोलेशन। तो आप इस चीज को कैसे देखती हैं? डू यू फील there's a conspiracy?
First, Rahul is a political complication that the Congress could not solve. Hence, I don't think you will be able to solve it.
Rahul is a
political complication which the Congress is not able to solve. Hence, you cannot solve it. But in terms of whether he is manipulating or he is being manipulated, मैं दोबारा कहती हूँ, विषयों को वो अपनी political convenience की दृष्टिकोण से देखते हैं। मैं दोबारा कहती हूँ, विषयों को वो अपनी पॉलिटिकल कन्वीनियंस, अपनी पॉलिटिकल ज़रूरतों के दृष्टि से देखते हैं। 1 मिनट, उसका मैं उदाहरण देती हूँ। जो व्यक्ति यूपीए के कार्यकाल में कहता है कि उसे हिंदू बेस्ड टेररिज्म से डर लगता है, वो एनडीए के कार्यकाल में मंदिर मंदिर घूमता है उत्तर प्रदेश में ताकि उसको वोट मिले। ठीक? जो व्यक्ति कहता है कि उसको हिंदू बेस्ड टेररिज्म से, सैफ्रनाइज टेररिज्म से डर लगता है, वो मंदिर मंदिर घूमता है, फिर हिंदू पे थियोलॉजियन बनकर लोगों को समझाने की कोशिश करता है, फिर कभी हिंदू होता है, कभी आधा हिंदू होता है, कभी पूरा हिंदू होता है, कभी बिल्कुल हिंदू नहीं होता, कभी सेक्युलर होता है, कभी मैं वही कह रही हूँ, वो प्लेटफॉर्म देखते हैं, अपनी पॉलिटिकल कन्वीनियंस देखते हैं और उसके हिसाब से अपना अगला दाव चलते हैं। अब तक आपकी पूरी कॉन्वर्सेशन जो रही है उसमें आपने खुद ही केस प्रूव किया है कि उन्होंने कब कब किस किस विषय पर भारत का विरोध किया है। हिंदुस्तान अपनी पूरी काबिलियत के आधार पर किस मुकाम पर पहुंच सकता है, उस मुकाम और आज की परिस्थिति और राहुल गांधी जैसे लोगों के बीच सिर्फ मोदी चट्टान बनकर खड़ा है। मैं आपको एक और चीज़ बोलती हूँ अर्नब जी, मैंने आपको वैक्सीन का बोला, मैंने आपको HAL का बोला। कोई भी हिंदुस्तानी
लंबी छूट क्यों देते हैं?
हाँ,
इतनी लंबी छूट क्यों देते हैं? देखिए, एक मिनट, आपको सब कुछ पता है। 1 मिनट, देखिए, हार्डलाइन अप्रोच की जरूरत है, जो मुझे लगता है हार्डलाइन अप्रोच की जरूरत है।
आप मुझे हार्डलाइन की एक्सप्लेनेशन
मैं आपको बताता हूँ
हार्डलाइन का मतलब।
ये मेरा अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है
जी।
मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है कि 2, 3, 4, 5 महीने शाहीन बाग चलना
जी, रास्ते
बंद करना, कोर्ट कचहरी जाना, अस्पताल बंद कर देना, देश को धमकी देना, इसको होते देना, ये हार्डलाइन अप्रोच नहीं है। दूसरा, किसानों के नाम पर अब सब पता चल गया, हरियाणा के चुनाव के बाद कि कितने किसान किस तरफ है, सब पता चल गया। किसान आंदोलन के नाम पर क्या हो रहा था, जो माओवादी कार्रवाई हो रही थी इधर, जो हर तरह के लोग प्रो खालिस्तानी, प्रो माओवादी रास्ते बंद कर रहे थे, एक तरह से सरकार को बैकफुट पे करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे। तो ये सब तो मुझे लगता है कि ये स्मृति ईरानी जी, ये इलेक्टोरल डेमोक्रेसी नहीं है, ये स्ट्रीट डेमोक्रेसी है। और ये चाहते हैं हर मामला, 1 मिनट में 10 सेकंड में खत्म करूंगा।
इलेक्टोरल डेमोक्रेसी का सबसे बड़ा टेस्ट ही ये है। आपके आज विपक्ष में ऐसे नेता हैं जो उन लोगों का समर्थन करते हैं जो मोदी को जान से मारने की धमकी देते हैं, बातें करते हैं। भाई, तो
लंबी छूट क्यों?
लंबी छूट नहीं, मोदी जी और डेमोक्रेसी का सबसे बड़ा टेस्ट ये है दैट एविडेंस बेस्ड, प्रोसेस बेस्ड, निष्पक्ष तरीके से एक निर्णय पर पहुंचना पड़ेगा।
सड़कों की राजनीति कब तक चलेगी? और लोगों को एक डाउट होती है कभी कभी, 1 मिनट, इतना बड़ा देश,
जब तक
इतना
बड़ा देश रहेगा तब तक ताकतें
इतना बड़ा देश, 140 करोड़ लोग, इतना बड़ा देश, 140 करोड़ लोग, और अगर कल कोई किसानों के नाम पे या किसी खालिस्तान के नाम पे या फिर कोई शाहीन बाग के नाम पे सड़क की राजनीति करके, और मीडिया का भी मैं तो खुलकर कहना चाहूंगा एक वर्ग है मीडिया का जो प्रोत्साहन देती है इन चीजों को।
हाँ, और मीडिया को उल्लेख कनाडा में कैसे हो रहा है?
मैं तो खुल करके, तो मुझे डर है कि ऐसी सिचुएशंस के साथ देश को डिस्टेबलाइज करने की कोशिश हो सकती है। और आप देख चुके हैं कि जो स्ट्रैटेजी है राहुल गांधी की, जा के वही है, लोगों को भड़काओ, रेलवे वालों को भड़काओ, सेना को भड़काओ, किसानों को भड़काओ, सनातन धर्म को तोड़ो, सनातन धर्म के खिलाफ बोलो कि सब कुछ जात है। तो ये तो भड़कीली राजनीति है, मगर आपका रिस्पॉन्स ये लंबी छूट वाली भी तो नहीं हो सकती।
देखिए, भटकाने की राजनीति कर रहे हैं, इसीलिए आज तक सत्ता से भटक रहे हैं, सत्ता उनको मिल नहीं रही है। क्योंकि देश भी समझता है कि ये तोड़ने की राजनीति कर रहे हैं, देश को जोड़ने की राजनीति नहीं कर रहे।
मैं तो ये कह दूंगा कि अगर जस्टिन ट्रूडो अपने आप को गलत साबित नहीं करते परसों, तो राहुल गांधी जस्टिन ट्रूडो का भी समर्थन कर देते।
आपको क्यों लगता है कि समर्थन नहीं कर रहे हैं? कहाँ आकर उन्होंने प्रखरता से कहा है कि मेरे देश की मीडिया पर इस प्रकार से जो आप प्रभाव डालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, या आप ऑफिशियल कम्युनिकेशन से जो प्रहार कर रहे हैं, मीडिया मेरे देश में फोर्थ स्टेट इंडिपेंडेंट है,
सब कुछ लिंक्ड है। जैसे एक महीने पहले वो अमेरिका में जाके उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे देश में सिख जो सिख हैं वो कड़ा नहीं पहन सकते। उस दिन रात को मैंने कहा कि मैं खुद पिछले 35 साल से कड़ा पहन रहा हूं, जो मुझे सिख दोस्त ने मुझे दी।
मार्शल कौन है? एयरफोर्स के आपके मुखिया कौन है?
मगर क्या लिंक्ड है? मैं कह रहा हूं कि जो कनाडा ने किया, जो खालिस्तानियों को समर्थन हो रहा है, और एक महीने पहले अमेरिका में जाके जो राहुल गांधी ने कहा, क्या इसमें कोई लिंक नहीं है? क्या राहुल गांधी ने एक प्रो खालिस्तान लाइन नहीं ली एक महीने पहले? और एक महीने बाद उन्हीं खालिस्तानियों का समर्थन करने के लिए जस्टिन ट्रूडो ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय साजिश की और मोदी का नाम लिया, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री का नाम लिया और हमारे देश के खिलाफ बात की। तो क्या ये चीज़ें लिंक्ड नहीं है? तो मैं फिर से पूछ रहा हूँ, ये किसके लिए कर रहे हैं?
मैं दोबारा कह रही हूँ, वो चाहते हैं कि आपको उकसाकर आपसे कुछ ऐसा करवाया जाए ताकि आपके लोकतंत्र को वो देश में विदेश में कलंकित करें। इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन टू एंश्योर दैट यू कीप फॉलोइंग द पाथ विच इज़ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली ordained फॉर द हेड ऑफ गवर्नमेंट। नरेंद्र मोदी ने वो डेमोक्रेटिक रिस्ट्रेन और अपने संविधान, अपने पद के प्रति वो सम्मान और वो डिसिप्लिन दिखाया है। वो भी जानते हैं कि ये जो राजनीति राहुल गांधी कर रहे हैं वो राष्ट्र की उन्नति के लिए नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो इनफैक्ट विपक्ष की एकता के लिए भी नहीं कर रहे हैं। वो सिर्फ अपने आप को पॉलिटिकली रेलेवेंट रखने के लिए राजनीति कर रहे हैं। क्योंकि अगर वो ज़मीन पर रेलेवेंट होते तो जो कश्मीर में उनका हाल हुआ, जो हरियाणा में उनका हाल हुआ, वो कांग्रेस पार्टी का हाल नहीं होता।
उनको तो लगता है जम्मू कश्मीर सरकार में उनको 10 मंत्रालय मिलने चाहिए थे।
मैंने कहा ना कि वो ऐसी पॉलिटिकल कॉम्प्लिकेशन है जो कांग्रेस पार्टी नहीं सुलझा पाई, तो साहब आप कहाँ से सुलझाइएगा?
मगर आपने एक बड़ी बात कही है कि आपने कहा है जो सिचुएशन है देश में भड़काने की कोशिश बहुत होगी, मगर जो बात इन्होंने कही है कि मगर इस भड़काने के मगर धैर्य रखना होगा। आप कह रहे हैं कि धैर्य के साथ,
आपके धैर्य, उनका सबसे बड़ा प्रहार ही यह है कि अगर आप कांग्रेस पार्टी के नहीं हैं तो आपको लोकतांत्रिक तरीके से सरकार चलाना नहीं आता। नरेंद्र मोदी ने प्रूव किया कि लोकतांत्रिक तरीके से सरकार चलाने के लिए, देश को विकास के पथ पर ले जाने के लिए गांधी खानदान में पैदा होने की जरूरत नहीं है। और उनकी दुखती रग यही है कि कोई तीसरी बार नॉन गांधी परिवार का देश का प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। उनकी दुखती रग यही है कि जिसे 2013 में तिरस्कार करते थे चाय वाला कह के, वो देश का प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। उनकी दुखती रग ये है कि जिसको हम जेल भरने की तैयारी कर रहे थे, किसी भी तौर तरीके से वो देश का तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। उनकी दुखती रग ये है कि वो प्रधानमंत्री है जो देश में और विदेश में भारत की विकास की सिर्फ बात नहीं करता, व्यवस्था करता है। पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग की बात करते हैं, बिल्कुल अलग। पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग मतलब वो कंपनियां जो भारत सरकार की हैं और जो देश की पूंजी हैं। उनकी ग्रोथ हुई 225%। कैसे हुई? मोदी की सरकार में 10 साल में 5 करोड़ से ज़्यादा फर्जी लाभार्थी पकड़े गए। 40-50 साल की देश की राजनीति में वो 5 करोड़ फर्जी अकाउंट का पैसा कौन सी पार्टी के जेब में जा रहा था? तो राहुल गांधी पॉलिटिकली एक्सपीडियंट पॉलिटिक्स कर रहा है। अगर दम होता, हम तो गए, मैं गई ना अमेठी लड़ने, दम होता तो बनारस लड़के दिखाते, बड़ौदा लड़के दिखाते। अपनी गली में तो सभी शेर हैं।
आप कह रहे दम नहीं है इसलिए अमेठी से भाग गए।
अरे भैया, अपनी गली में तो सब शेर हैं।
मगर आप ऑफर करिए ना उनको कि दम है तो लड़िए अमेठी से।
मैंने तो पहले भी कहा था नहीं लड़े ना।
एक बार और कह दीजिए।
अब तो उनको तश्तरी में ला कर दिया जाएगा ना। लेकिन अब भी कह देती हूँ कि अब भी अगर 29 में लड़ने की अमेठी कोशिश की तो जीतेंगे नहीं, वो उनको भी पता है। उतना तो मैंने तय करवा दिया वहाँ पे कि अगर 29 में अगर आने का वहाँ पर उन्होंने विचार किया तो धूल चटाएंगे बीजेपी वाले, ये तो पक्का है।
यही तो है जो जवाब मैंने शुरुआत में मैंने पूछा था इनको। मगर स्मृति जी, हम तो चाहते हैं कि स्मृति ईरानी बनाम राहुल गांधी एक बार और हो जाए कि नहीं हो जाए, पब्लिक डिमांड है।
नहीं, मैं तो कहती हूँ कि आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी तो छोड़िए, बेखौफ आकर किसी राष्ट्रीय मंच पर स्मृति ईरानी छोड़िए, भाजपा के किसी साधारण कार्यकर्ता से राष्ट्रीय मुद्दों पर चर्चा कर लीजिए। ये भी उनको छूट देती हूँ कि मंच के आसपास अर्नब गोस्वामी नहीं रहेगा, सिर्फ जनता रहेगी। जिसमें इतना दम नहीं है उससे आप लड़ने की बात करते हैं साहब।
वैसे मेरी एक बार भेंट हो चुकी है।
हाँ, उस भेंट का परिणाम क्या था देश ने देख लिया है।
स्मृति ईरानी जी, क्या भारत खतरे में है? क्या
जब तक मोदी है तब तक भारत खतरे में नहीं है।
मगर बैलेंस करना तो मुश्किल हो जाएगा।
इसीलिए तो मोदी है और मुमकिन हो रहा है।
नहीं, मगर यूक्रेन, रशिया, चीन और अमेरिका के बीच आप पिछले चुनाव के बाद आप कई अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सभाओं में आपने बात की है, आपने एड्रेस किया है, यूनाइटेड किंगडम में, यूएस में। आप क्या देख रहे हैं? क्या भारत को दुनिया कैसे देख रही है और क्या खतरा है, क्या थ्रेट्स है, और हम क्या बैलेंस कर पाएंगे? लोग कहते हैं यूक्रेन के बाद हमने बैलेंस करके हम बीच के रास्ते से राष्ट्रहित पे हमने काम की। मगर क्या राष्ट्रहित को ही सर्वोपरि मानकर हर विषय पर काम किया जा सकता है, या फिर थोड़ी बहुत बैलेंसिंग करनी पड़ती है? थोड़ी बहुत अपनी इकोनॉमी को चीन को खोलना पड़ता है, थोड़ी बहुत हमारे जो क्या कहते हैं कि इलॉन मस्क को आने देना पड़ता है, कोई दूसरी चीज होती है। क्या प्रभाव नहीं होता, प्रेशर नहीं बनता देश पर?
देखिए, नरेंद्र मोदी
दोनों तरफ से, चीन से, रूस से, अमेरिका से, पूरे देश से।
हम एक ही देश हैं। जो रूस और यूक्रेन के बीच में जब द्वंद्व हुआ तब प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने एक बहुत अच्छा वाक्य कहा कि लोगों ने बार बार भारत से ये पूछा कि तुम रूस की तरफ हो या यूक्रेन की तरफ हो। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने कहा भारत ने पक्षपात नहीं किया, हम हमेशा शांति के पक्ष में रहे हैं। That we've always been on the side of peace. भारत से कोई उम्मीद नहीं लगाता था। देखिए, पोस्ट कॉलोनियल एरा में ना कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट के लोग, गोरे लोग ये सोचते हैं कि हमने जो कहा भारत वो करेगी। उनको ये आदत नहीं थी कि भारत खड़े होकर ये बोलेगा कि हमारे देश के लिए जो अच्छा है पहले हम वो करेंगे। तो हम पर दबाव आए, एक का साथ दो, रूस का दोगे कि यूक्रेन का दोगे? हमने कहा हम हिंदुस्तानियों का साथ देंगे। आज अगर विषय निकलता है लेट्स से इजराइल का, हमने इजराइल के पक्ष में, फिलिस्तीन के पक्ष में अपना निष्पक्ष एक पक्ष रखा या अपने एक पोजीशन ली। आज जब देश का विदेश मंत्री जाता है एससीओ समिट के लिए तो बेखौफ होकर बोलता है कि मैं बायलैटरल के लिए नहीं जा रहा, और कोई भी विदेशी ताकत में इतना दम नहीं कि भारत को मजबूर कर ले कि जा ही रहे हो तो बायलैटरल भी कर लो।
मगर नवाज शरीफ ने कहा ये तो शुरुआत है, अब आगे आगे देखो होता है क्या। हाँ। नवाज शरीफ तो इतने खुश हैं कि जयशंकर पाकिस्तान गए कि इन्होंने स्टेटमेंट दे दी कि अभी देखिए ये तो शुरुआत है, दिस इज द स्टार्ट। हाँ। अभी तो बहुत कुछ होगा, होना चाहिए।
और आपको क्या लगता है क्या होगा जब जयशंकर अपना काला चश्मा पहन के चले थे? देखिए, आप अपना, जैसे अटल जी कहते थे, नेबरहुड बदल नहीं सकते, लेकिन क्या अपने नेबरहुड में आप प्रखर एक राष्ट्र बनकर उभर सकते हैं जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल भी है लेकिन रेजोल्यूट भी है? हिंदुस्तान ने वो किया है। आज हिंदुस्तान ये कहता है कि अगर दो राष्ट्रों के बीच में द्वंद्व है, दो राष्ट्रों के बीच में युद्ध है, तो हिंदुस्तान उसका पक्ष या ना पक्ष लेने की स्थिति में क्यों हो? आज जब FTA में, आज शायद पीयूष गोयल जी आपके मंच पर आए थे, FTA की जब चर्चा होती है, जब हम कहते हैं कि एक राष्ट्र हमारे राष्ट्र के साथ कोई समझौता करेगा ट्रेड में, तो कई लोग, और राहुल गांधी उसमें सम्मिलित हैं, जो कहते हैं हमें ज़्यादा प्रोटेक्शनिस्ट नहीं होना चाहिए। राहुल जी ने तो एक बार ये भी कह दिया था कि जयशंकर को विदेश नीति नहीं आती, उनको बेहतर आती है। अब ये जयशंकर की उदारता है कि उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है भैया, जो बोलना है बोलो। लेकिन अंततः जब आप FTA के भी किसी भी एक डेलिब्रेशन में बैठते हैं, तो मेरा अनुभव कैबिनेट का ये रहा है, प्रधानमंत्री हमेशा कहते हैं जो हिंदुस्तान और हिंदुस्तानियों के हित में पहले उसकी बात होगी। हम हिंदुस्तान के हित को कभी स्वाहा नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि हमें कोई फोटो ऑप चाहिए FTA में। ऐसी परिस्थितियों में क्या भारत सतर्क है और सुरक्षित है? बिल्कुल सतर्क और सुरक्षित है। आपने देखा श्रीलंका में क्या घटना घटी, बांग्लादेश में क्या घटना घटी, अफगानिस्तान में क्या घटना घटी, चीन के साथ हमारे क्या हालात हैं। लेकिन
बांग्लादेश में जब घटना घटी तो कई इधर आपके शुभचिंतक थे, कांग्रेस पार्टी के भी कई नेता थे, दूसरे थे, जो कह रहे थे ऐसा भारत में भी हो सकता है। जब बांग्लादेश जल रही थी, मुझे तो समझ में नहीं है कैसे लोग हैं, स्मृति जी ये खुलकर ये आशा प्रकट कर रहे थे कि हमारे देश में ऐसा होना चाहिए, और ये चुनाव के ठीक बाद हुआ। इतनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन है।
देखिए, जो सोच रहे थे कि देश जलेगा, उनको ये नहीं पता कि देश में अगर कुछ जलेगा तो दीप में सिर्फ उत्सव का दीप जलेगा और कुछ नहीं जलेगा।
मगर एक लोगों को लग रहा है कि जो कोर एजेंडा है बीजेपी की, कोर एजेंडा,
क्या
देखिए कोर एजेंडा है
हमारा,
कोर एजेंडा में जो कोर एजेंडा है कि नहीं है, कोर एजेंडा है,
मुझे बताइए,
ये मैं आप ऐसे नहीं, कोर एजेंडा है
हमारा, कोर एजेंडा,
कोर एजेंडा है, कोर एजेंडा जो बीजेपी का है,
क्या है आपके हिसाब से?
मैं आपको कहता हूं, मगर कोर एजेंडा के मुद्दों पर यह बात चल रही है कि आपके हाथ बंधे हुए हैं।
हमारा कोर
आपके हाथ बंधे, आप करना चाहते हैं मगर आप 240 MPs के साथ नहीं कर पाएंगे।
अर्नब जी,
कोर एजेंडा, कोर एजेंडा जो मेन है,
मैं वही कह रही हूँ, हमारा कोर एजेंडा वही है जो आपका आज एजेंडा चल रहा है, राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि।
नहीं, वो तो है, नहीं राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि।
मैं आपको बताती हूँ, सुन ले अभी, क्योंकि 9 बजे का डिबेट नहीं हुआ अभी तक।
कोर एजेंडा आपने पूछा, मैं कह देता हूँ,
मैं आपको बताती हूँ कोर एजेंडा और हमने क्या क्या किया।
कोर एजेंडा,
एक सेकेंड, कहा गया, सुन लीजिए, कोर एजेंडा में कहा गया धारा 370 इस देश में कभी नहीं हटेगी, हटी। कहा गया कि धारा 370 हटने के बाद कभी भी लोकतांत्रिक तरीके से चुनाव नहीं होंगे, हुए। कोर एजेंडा था मंदिर बनाएंगे, बना।
कई सारी चीजें हैं जो आपने की,
था वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन,
कई सारी चीजें हैं,
आया,
कई सारी चीजें हैं।
था कि GST कभी नहीं होगा, कहते थे, करके दिखाया। कोर एजेंडा ये भी था कि तीसरी बार हम भाजपा का प्रधानमंत्री बनाएंगे, बनाया।
कोर एजेंडा में यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड भी थी। लोग कहते हैं कि 10 साल में आपको कर देना चाहिए था, और क्या यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड आपके कोर एजेंडा में है? दूसरी बात, वक्फ बिल। आज हर व्यक्ति, कोई लैंड ओनर है, कोई किसी का घर है, फ्लैट है, सबको डर है। आप माइनॉरिटी अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर रह चुकी है, कोई भी वक्फ बोर्ड आके कह सकता है कि ये घर हमारा है। ये भी तो कोर एजेंडा था, आपने JPC में भेज दिया। वन नेशन वन पोल, बहुत अच्छी बात है, हम सब चाहते हैं, हो गई बहुत राजनीति, विकास की बात हो, मगर क्या आप वन नेशन वन पोल को इंप्लीमेंट कर पाएंगे जब आपके नंबर 2/3 मेजॉरिटी आपके लोकसभा में नहीं है और 2/3 आपकी राज्यसभा में भी नहीं है, तो ये आप कैसे पारित कर पाएंगे? ये सब कोर एजेंडा लोग चाहते हैं।
हमने कोर एजेंडा तब सेट किया जब तो हमारे 2 ही सांसद थे, लेकिन पूरा करके दिखाया ना।
तो तीनों करेंगी आप?
आज तो सरकार है,
तीनों करेंगी आप?
बिल्कुल।
यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड,
कहा है तो
यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड,
मैंने कहा ना, मोदी ने कहा है तो करेंगे।
यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड,
मोदी ने कहा है करेंगे।
वन नेशन वन पोल,
5 साल बाकी है ना, अभी तो सिर्फ 10 ही साल हुआ है।
वक्फ बिल,
बिल्कुल
आप तीनों करेंगे।
मैंने तो वक्फ बिल लिखा है, इसलिए कह रही हूँ, मंशा नहीं होती तो इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं होता, और इंट्रोड्यूस होने के बाद सबकी राय लेने की अगर मंशा नहीं होती तो JPC में नहीं जाता। तो इसीलिए कह रही हूँ, मोदी है तो होगा, कहा है तो करेंगे।
स्मृति जी, पहले, दूसरे और तीसरे कार्यकाल में, आखिरी सवाल, व्हाट इज द चेंज? कोalition गवर्नमेंट तो है आपका, सबको लेके चलना होगा, अप्रोच तो बदलेगा, इसके पॉजिटिव क्या है और नेगेटिव क्या है?
कोई नेगेटिव्स नहीं है। पहले कहा जाता था कि मोदी सरकार चलाना नहीं जानते, मोदी ने 5 साल की सरकार चलाई, फिर कहा खान मार्केट गैंग ने कि मोदी दूसरी बार सत्ता में नहीं आ सकता, आए। फिर कहते हैं कि मोदी संगठित सरकार नहीं चला सकते, चलाई। फिर कहा मोदी अब हरियाणा नहीं जीत सकते, जीत गए। तो मोदी हर दिन एक नए अग्नि परीक्षा से गुजरते हैं और हर दिन पाक साफ उस परीक्षा से निकलते हैं। हमारे देश के इतिहास में पहली बार कोई नॉन कांग्रेसी तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बना है। अगर आज से 10 साल पहले कोई किसी से पूछता ऐसा होगा क्या, होगा नहीं, अरे कहाँ के ख्वाब पालते हो। मोदी ने ख्वाब देखे और ख्वाबों को पूरा किया।
मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है कि आपके तेवर वही हैं, क्योंकि आज पहली बार इनसे मिल रहा हूँ इलेक्शन के बाद।
ऐसा है
जी,
आप छुरी से आम काटें या सेब, धार तो वही रहती है।
तो फिर आप कह ही दीजिए, फिर जवाब दे दीजिए जो मैंने आपको पूछा कि दम वाला
सवाल है कि मैं छुरी नहीं, मैं पॉलिटिकल तलवार हूँ।
तो पॉलिटिकल तलवार है तो एक बार कह दीजिए कि जो दम वाली बात मैंने कही, सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ और ये क्लिप ज़रूर वायरल होगा। आपने कहा कि अगर दम है, क्या मैं सच समझ रहा हूँ, क्या मैं ठीक समझ रहा हूँ कि आपने कहा है कि राहुल गांधी में दम है तो मेरे से लड़के दिखाए अगली बार?
मैंने कहा ना, अगर दम है तो ऐसी जगह से लड़के दिखाए जो उनका पारिवारिक गढ़ नहीं है। कोई भी साधारण बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता से लड़के दिखाए। अपनी गली में तो शेर होना आसान है। बड़ौदा से लड़के दिखाए, गांधीनगर से लड़के दिखाए, लखनऊ से लड़के दिखाए, बनारस से लड़के दिखाए,
और अमेठी से
लड़के दिखाए, कश्मीर से लड़के दिखाते।
दम नहीं है।
उन्होंने वो जगह चुनी जहां उन्हें लगा कि गरीब को और गरीब रखेंगे, पिछड़े को और पिछड़ा रखेंगे। उनकी मजबूरी पर उन्होंने अपना पॉलिटिकल महल बनाया। ये उनकी हकीकत है, इससे वो कभी मुंह नहीं फेर सकते।
जी, स्मृति ईरानी जी, आज बहुत मज़ा आया आपसे बात करके। पीपल हैव रियली एंजॉयड दिस इंटरेक्शन और लोग आपको और ज़ोर से पॉलिटिक्स में देखना चाहते हैं, कैंपेन ट्रेल में, पॉलिटिक्स में और पब्लिक लाइफ में। राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर स्मृति ईरानी प्लीज। स्मृति ईरानी जी, कुछ कहना चाहती हैं आप?
मैं इतना ही कहूँगी
हाँ
कि अर्नब जी, आज मुझे जिस बात का सबसे बड़ा दुख है, और मैं दुख सार्वजनिक कहती हूँ, मेरे देश की मीडिया प्रणाली पर एक विदेशी ताकत ने सार्वजनिक प्रहार किया है। प्रधानमंत्री सरकार ने अपना रुख बता दिया, विपक्ष लेकिन चुप है। उन्होंने आज तक मेरे लोकतंत्र में, मेरे इलेक्शन कमीशन को, देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को, देश की जुडिशरी को कटघरे में करा।
जी,
द फोर्थ पिलर, द फोर्थ स्टेट इज अंडर अटैक एंड द ऑपोजिशन इज साइलेंट अबाउट इट।
उस पर मैं कुछ कहूँ?
बोलिए।
अगर आप उस रिपोर्ट को पढ़े, ये कनाडा की सरकारी रिपोर्ट है, फॉरेन इंटरफियरेंस। उन्होंने वहाँ पे 6 बार रिपब्लिक नेटवर्क का नाम लिया है और बड़ी बात यह है, उन्होंने ये माना है वहाँ पे कि हमारी जितनी नेटवर्क है, सीबीसी, सीबीएस, पता नहीं कितने कनाडा के ब्रॉडकास्टिंग कॉरपोरेशन है, वो कह रहे हैं हम इतने छोटे हैं और भारत का एक ऐसा नेटवर्क है, हम सब लोग मिल जाएं फिर भी उससे छोटे हैं। तो मैं भी कहूँगा उनमें दम नहीं है हमारे खिलाफ बोलने के लिए। धन्यवाद।
इतना ही कहूँगी that you have done the Republic of India proud.
Thank you.
That the Republic resonates.
Thank you, Smriti ji.
Director, the taste of success.
Bhagalpur police arrested a man for allegedly dismantling the hands of idols of deities. 6 statues were damaged in total. Protesters expressed their anger by storming the police premises, creating chaos in the area. Cops arrested the accused as demonstrators blocked the main road. They even set tires on fire as part of the unrest. Protesters claim that Hindu idols are being specifically targeted and are calling for justice to be served. However, Bhagalpur Cops issued a press release stating a meeting is being held with the members of Peace Committee to bring the situation under control. Cops further stated that the law and order of the area has been restored.
Director, the taste of success.
Very good evening, viewers. You're watching Republic TV and I'm Rakshita Mishra with you. Now, a deafening blast was reported outside a CRPF school in Prashant Vihar area of Rohini in Delhi on Sunday. And according to sources, a PCR call was received this morning with the caller informing that a loud explosion was heard outside the school in Sector 14 area of Rohini. Now, responding to the call, a police team reached the spot to find a portion of the school's boundary wall damaged. No casualties, thankfully, were reported. Teams from Delhi Police Special Cell and the NSG, National Security Guard, were rushed to the spot to check for leads. Here's a full report.
A deafening blast filled the morning air outside a CRPF school in the national capital on Sunday, sending locals and passerbys into panic. According to sources, a PCR call was received at 7:47 hours, with the caller reporting a loud explosion outside the school at Prashant Vihar in the Sector 14 area of Rohini. The initial responders, a police team led by the SHO, arrived at the spot to find a portion of the school's boundary wall damaged. They also sensed a foul smell filling the air. Teams from Delhi Police Special Branch and the NSG soon arrived at the spot and launched a search where the blast was reported. Visuals showed sniffer dogs being pressed into service to check for leads. It is understood that the area where the blast took place is home to certain intelligence and defense units belonging to the Indian Army. Meanwhile, Delhi Chief Minister Atishi sought to wash her hands of the incident, saying that law and order in the national capital was in the domain of the centre. A case was registered under the Explosives Act, while the Ministry of Home Affairs has sought a detailed report on the incident. According to sources privy to the ongoing probe, the police were examining footage from CCTV cameras within a radius of 500 meters, while some officials of the military intelligence were also at the spot.
I'm right now reporting from Prashant Vihar area in northwest Delhi, and this is the boundary of CRPF school. Now over here at around 7:50 a.m. today on Sunday morning, there was a kind of a low intensity blast, the repercussions of which was also felt over here at the shops nearby. You can see that how some of the glasses, because of this low intensity blast, got shattered. There is now an investigation also which is being done, and you can see that there are officials over here of not only the Delhi police but also a crime team of the Delhi police, and also along with them a forensic science laboratory official that have come over here to ascertain that what exactly may have resulted in this low intensity blast.
Even as the security forces hunt for leads, Delhi police did not rule out a terror angle in this low intensity blast.
Now, a bomb threat was issued to Belagavi Samra Airport in Karnataka via an email sent to the airport director Tyagaraja, with the threat originating from Chennai. Following the alarming message, security was tightened at the airport, dog squads, bomb squads conducting thorough checks. Now, the airport director has registered a case at the Marihal police station and the investigations continue.
After several threats to flights on domestic and international routes have caused great concern, now Belagavi's airport was issued a threat. The Samra airport received a threat mail. Threat mail was sent to airport director Tyagaraja. The IP address of the system that sent the email was tracked. It was routed to Chennai.
Yesterday and today, Belagavi Airport, through its official email ID, has received 2 threat mails. These threat mails have been sent out in an intention to create fear and panic amongst public. So, in light of these threat messages, Belagavi City Police, along with the Industrial Security Force of the Karnataka State, along with our bomb squad and our dog squad and all our security teams, have checked the airport numerous times yesterday as well as today, and all the nook and corner of the airport has been checked, and no such threat has been found to be true.
However, no information on who wrote the mail has been found as of now. Security was heightened at the airport following the threat. Bomb squad and dog squad were rushed. Thorough checks are being conducted at the airport, but nothing suspicious has been found so far. While the email is learnt to be a hoax one, a case has been registered at the Marihal police station. Investigation into the case is currently underway.
Now, an alarming incident has occurred in remember, viewers, we shift our focus now to West Bengal as the deadlock over the 10-point charter of demands persists, and the ongoing fast unto death of the junior doctors enters 16th straight day. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee invited them to Nabonno for talks on Monday. The protesting doctors responded positively to the Chief Minister's offer of a sit-down, but refused to call off their hunger strike. And even as Mamata Banerjee extends a fresh olive branch to the fasting doctors, few of them have criticized her for holding a guided Pujo carnival, even as they put their lives on the line. Here's a report on that. Raising hopes of a breakthrough even as the deadlock persisted over their 10-point demands, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee finally invited to the fasting junior doctors for talks. The protesting junior doctors put out a statement confirming that the Chief Minister invited them for a sit-down at Nabonno on Monday. However, the Chief Minister urged the doctors to call off their fast onto death and return to work. The latter vowed to shoulder on.
Meanwhile, as the stalemate continued, a protesting junior doctor said most of them have returned to their duties, while a few continue to sit on an indefinite fast until all their demands are met. Earlier on Saturday, Chief Secretary Manoj Pant visited the site of the hunger strike in central Kolkata's Esplanade. The doctors were seen having a telephone conversation with Mamta in the Chief Secretary's presence in an attempt to break the ice. Even as the Chief Minister signalled a climb down of sorts, a section of the fasting doctors came down heavily on her for holding a Pujo carnival while they put their lives on the line.
আমাদের শরীরের উপর দাঁড়িয়ে আপনি কার্নিভাল করেছেন এরপরে জনতা তার উত্তর দেবে সিনিয়র ডাক্তাররা তার উত্তর দেবে।
Meanwhile, sitting TMC MLA Tapas Chatterjee kicked up a massive row after he trivialized the doctors' protest, calling it a BJP left movement.
TMC MLAs and TMC leaders are speaking what their leader is telling them to. In fact, yesterday we saw Mamta Banerjee was speaking to the doctors on phone, and one of her statement was, please rise beyond politics and join back work. So she clearly meant that the doctors are doing politics by doing this whole protest and taking part in this protest movement. So as per what Mamta Banerjee yesterday meant or insinuated, today the TMC MLA Taposh of Salt Lake Bidhannagar area, he has pointed out that the junior doctors are actually like a political party, politicizing the whole issue. What they have is political ideology and political goals, and they are not really protesting to demand justice.
And as the anticipation builds around Monday's meeting, the key question is, will the ice finally melt?
Now, amid a widening rift in the opposition Maha-Vikas Aghadi alliance in Maharashtra over the allocation of seats for the ensuing assembly elections, cracks have opened up in the ruling Grand Alliance in Jharkhand after senior RJD MLA Manoj Jha came out heavily over the seat allotments in the state. Now, the Grand Alliance earlier locked the seat-sharing deal for Jharkhand, as part of which the JMM and the Congress would contest on 70 seats, setting aside the remaining segments for the RJD and the other partners. And not mincing any words was Manoj Jha, who said that the seats were allocated without prior consultations with the RJD, adding that the party has identified 15 to 17 seats where it could defeat the BJP on its own. Here's a report.
Amid mounting alliance trouble in the Maha-Vikas Aghadi over the allocation of seats for the upcoming Maharashtra Assembly polls, a similar crisis has now gripped the ruling Indie partners in Jharkhand. Coming out openly against his partners in the ruling Grand Alliance in Jharkhand, senior RJD MP Manoj Jha voiced his dissent over the allotment of seats in the poll-bound state. Speaking to reporters in Jharkhand on Sunday, the RJD leader claimed no prior consultations were held with the party before the seat deal was locked and announced.
हम किसी खास वजह से आपके समक्ष आए हैं। आप देख सकते हैं हमारी पूरी लीडरशिप, हमारे नेता प्रतिपक्ष तेजस्वी जी के आग्रह पे हम सब यहाँ हैं। आज सुबह हमारी मीटिंग हुई और उस मीटिंग में ये तय पाया गया कि ताकत जो वोट की है, जनाधार की है, वो राजद के पक्ष में है। हमें दुख के साथ कहना पड़ता है कि यूनिलैटरल फैसला लिया गया कि आपको फलाने नंबर ऑफ सीट का ऑफर दिया जा रहा है। ये ना राजद की ऐतिहासिक ताकत के अनुरूप है, ना समकालीन जो परिस्थितियां हैं उसके अनुरूप है।
The Grand Alliance earlier announced seat-sharing deal for Jharkhand, as part of which the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and the Congress would contest 70 seats, setting aside the remaining 11 for the RJD and other alliance partners. Jha claimed that his party had identified 15 to 17 seats where it could potentially defeat the BJP in a direct contest.
आज हमने पूरी जो मीटिंग की है उसमें हम लोगों ने 15 से 18 ऐसी सीटें चिन्हित की हैं अलग अलग जिलों की, जहां हम शायद अकेले भी बीजेपी को परास्त करने में सक्षम है। उसके अनुरूप उम्मीद की जानी चाहिए थी कि आप कोई भी चीजें प्रक्रियाधीन करने से पूर्व कंसल्टेशन के प्रोसेस को मुकम्मल करते।
The descending notes from the RJD compounded the woes for the Indy amid the mounting dissonance in the MVA over the share of seats and a consensus CM candidate. Wasting little time to take a jibe at Indy, the BJP said it neither has any mission nor vision for the poll-bound states and were only in the race to advance their selfish interests and indulge in corruption.
आरजेडी के प्रोफेसर मनोज झा ने आकर दर्द जो बयां किया है और कहा है कि हम तो अकेले ही लड़ सकते हैं, ये हमारी ताकत के अनुरूप नहीं है, हमारे से पूछा भी नहीं गया, यूनिलैटरली अनाउंस हो गया। यही मैं कह रहा हूं कि इंडी अलायंस नो मिशन नो विजन, चाहे महाराष्ट्र हो, चाहे झारखंड हो, चाहे जम्मू कश्मीर हो, चाहे पंजाब हो, चाहे हरियाणा हो, चाहे केरल हो, जहां पर प्रियंका जी के सामने लेफ्ट के पार्टी का कैंडिडेट वायनाड से लड़ेगा।
With Jharkhand elections round the corner, it seems that the Indy alliance patch-up or kind of alliance which was there seems to be breaking up. In the latest report that is coming in, there seems to be now a breakup which seems to be on cards between the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and the Rashtriya Janata Dal. In fact, there is now reports that with this breakup which is imminent, the Rashtriya Janata Dal might not cooperate with Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in the upcoming elections and will contest the upcoming assembly elections on its own. Having said that, however, they want to project that all is well within the India alliance, and the senior members of the Rashtriya Janata Dal today said that even though they might contest the elections of Jharkhand on their own terms, there is a possibility that they will support the candidates of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha.
Clearly upset with the unilateral seat allotments in Jharkhand, could the RJD now be going alone in the assembly elections?
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 11 p.m. Republic is live and breaking with the biggest story that's coming in this hour. A terror attack has taken place in Kashmir. What we learn is that 7 people have been dead and 5 have been injured in the terror attack. Remember, this is the deadliest terror attack reported so far in this year, in the year 2024. The latest coming in that 7 people have been dead and 5 have been injured in South Kashmir's Ganderbal is what we know. 5 people have also, who are injured, have been shifted to a hospital in Srinagar is what we know. The visuals on your screen show how panic is created in the area in central Kashmir where the terror attack took place. This is just about 30 minutes before we got you this news where 7 people have already lost their lives, which includes locals and non-locals in central Kashmir. I have my reporters joining us on the broadcast. I have with me Aravat Gursimran. Antra. Also, we have a defense expert joining us live on the bulletin. Aravat, to you first, what is the latest coming in? 7 people have been dead. What are those identities? Who are those victims? Do we know what is the identity of the victim so far?
Absolutely, Tanisha. If we'll talk about this, is the deadliest attack of the 2024 in the Jammu and Kashmir, and the 6 people have been killed and 1 doctor also. So total figure is the 7 as of now, and the 5 are injured who have been shifted from the Ganderbal hospital to Srinagar for the advanced treatment, and the massive coordinated search operation is going on. Also, DGP Jammu and Kashmir Police and IGP is on the spot, and also all the entry and exit points have been sealed by the joint security forces, and the mega anti-terror operation is underway in the Ganderbal, and this is the deadliest terror attack which took place in the central Kashmir's Ganderbal.
Right, Aravat, we seem to have lost that line with you. I would like to take that question across to Gursimran. Gursimran, you have also brought us this news where a big terror attack has taken place in central Kashmir. What are your sources telling you? Has anybody taken the responsibility of the attack yet? Gursimran?
See, Tanisha, what we are picking up from the sources that it is very likely that it is the handwork of Lashkar-e-Toiba offshoot TRF has done, and this has been claimed on some of the handles being operated by the Kashmir fighters. That is what we are picking up now. Important to mention that this attack is one of the deadliest attack of 2024. Even if we speak of last 5 years, this is one of the deadliest attack, because last time the attack that we have seen, it was in the Rajouri district where 7 civilians were killed by the terrorists on the New Year Eve in 2023, and since then their security forces were prevailing on the terrorists. But once again, the terrorists have chosen a place that has been safe, comparatively safe. There was no major active terror activity in the Ganderbal, or if we speak of this area of Sonmarg, that has been quite peaceful, and we have seen the large numbers of tourists venturing through this area. Reason being that this was quite peaceful, but all of a sudden this major terror attack has taken place. Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir has come out with a statement, and he has said that he condemns the heinous terrorist attack that has taken place, and he's assuring that those behind the attack will not go unpunished. He has also said that full free hand has been given to the Jammu and Kashmir Police, Indian Army and the security forces to neutralize these terrorists. But this is one of the deadliest attacks that also shows that how the terrorists were regrouping themselves during last 1.5 months, where we have seen a complete lull on the terror activities. But it was not like that the terrorists have gone into hiding. They were regrouping themselves, and this kind of a major terror attack really raises a serious concerns on the security scenario in Jammu and Kashmir, because 7 civilians getting killed, including a doctor. There are non-locals, those who have come from other states to work, to earn their livelihood in Jammu and Kashmir, and also some of the locals from what we are picking up from the Kashmir as well as from the Jammu region. They have been injured, and since we are learning some news of those who have been unfortunately lost their life, that is what we are picking up some of the names. We are also picking up that those who have been injured, that is really concerning, because the security forces have been maintaining an upper hand for the last 1.5 years, especially these belts of central Kashmir. Those have been kept safe from the terror attacks, but now all of a sudden a major terror attack taking place. Now the security forces have launched a massive search operation, and as we speak the security forces are now going for a hunt for the terrorists, though some of the reports say that that the terrorists have fled the spot, but the security forces have intensified this entire area where the cordon is underway so that these terrorists can be neutralized at an earliest. Tanisha.
Right, Gurusimran, thank you for joining us with those updates. Aravat, I'll come to you, and Antara is also joining us live from the newsroom, but I would also like to go across to Major General retired A.K. Sivaj, defense expert, joining us live on the broadcast. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to Republic. This is the biggest terror attack so far reported this year. 7 people have been injured. 7 people have been dead, in fact, and 5 have been injured. A very, very unfortunate incident that's coming in from central Kashmir. Clearly, the target was to create panic. The target was to create chaos in the region. So your first reactions on that?
Yeah, Tanishka, there's no doubt. See, the point was that as far as the terrorists were concerned, they were on the run. There were hardly about 40 to 50 regular terrorists were left. And especially the leadership of Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, was completely wiped off. But the Pakistan ISI was trying to reactivate it, especially after what they have done south of Pir Panjal. So they were trying to again activate the area both in North Kashmir as well as in Central Kashmir. But then they were not successful. But what the terrorists now have done, they have picked up a soft target. It's a hybrid warfare because these soft target, these are the migrant workers, and they are working there for the betterment of Jammu and Kashmir. They are involved in a tunnel which will be connecting, 2 parts of southern Kashmir with another Kashmir. But they have picked up this thing very cleverly because they know it that they do not have much of the protection. So they are going to do such type of act in future also. But let me tell you one thing, that our counter-infiltration as well as counter-terrorism grid is very, very robust, and they will be, I am sure, in another 2-3 days neutralized. But this is a cause of concern, and also one has to be alert. As you will find the winter setting in, you will find the passes will try to get closed. That is the time when the maximum infiltration attempts will be made from the Pakistan, because there are about 7,000 to 8,000 Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaish-e-Mohammed sitting in the launch pad and training area. And ISI wants to pump them in because they thought that their game plan of Jammu and Kashmir is totally lost, because they find that North Kashmir is completely peaceful and South Kashmir also by and large very peaceful. So they will try to reactivate, especially after new government had taken over. They want to upset the new government. They will go for a soft target. A hybrid warfare model will be adopted. But I can assure you that the security forces have upper hand, and our cordon and search operation will be conducted, because our counter-terrorism and counter-infiltration both are very robust. I'm sure in time to come they will be neutralized. But yes, it is a setback, and I admit that it is one of the main operations which have been conducted this year, where we have lost about 7 migrant workers which have come and basically working for the progress of Jammu and Kashmir.
Right, sir. So also what we are learning is that the target of these terrorists was Kashmir's economy, because what we know is that the target where the terror attack has taken place is actually a tourist spot. So clearly the attempt was to create panic. Like I was saying, the attempt was to target Kashmir's economy, and the target was to create panic in the area. Now this is the biggest terror attack, sir, like you were saying, and it is a clear attempt by the terror state to create panic in Kashmir. And remember, this comes days after a new government has been sworn in, after the abrogation of Article 370. What are the repercussions that it's going to have, sir?
Absolutely. I see the point is they want to create a sort of basically uncertainty in the mind of the migrant workers. They have picked up a soft target. They are trying to tell them that if you stay there, you will be targeted. This is an indirect message to the migrant workers which are working. So the point is that as on today,
Right.
But we will bounce back. But we should not take Pakistan ISI lightly. You remember what they are trying to do at the SCO meeting? They are trying to build up bridge. They want to have talk with India. At the same time, they will keep this Jammu and Kashmir issue alive, which is now a no more issue, because there is nothing to speak with as far as India is concerned with Pakistan, except the area which they have occupied illegally, the POJ and Gilgit-Baltistan. But they will not sit quiet. They will try to activate this, and especially when this government has just taken over, they will try to upset this government by doing such activity of hybrid warfare. Maniksha.
Right. Right. I request A.K. Sivaj to stay with us. I also have my colleague Antara joining us live from the broadcast. Antara, what are the updates that we know so far? Are all these 7 people who have been dead in the terror attack locals, non-locals? What's the update on that?
Right, Anisha. From what we are coming to know so far is that the 7 people who have been killed are locals and non-locals. We know that there are 2 non-local laborers and a doctor who have died. As our colleagues correctly pointed out, this is by far the deadliest terror attack in the valley in 2024. What we are also coming to know is that the army forces, the paramilitary forces, have currently cordoned off the area. Terrorists are also believed to be trapped in the area, and there is a massive anti-terror operation currently underway.
Right, Antara, stay with us, because I'll keep coming back to you. Arawat, what we also know is that there's a breaking news coming in that the NIA has now stepped into the probe, and it will now take over the Kashmir terror attack probe. Arawat, what are the details that you're gathering?
Absolutely, Tanisha, as we have seen recently the peaceful elections in the Kashmir Valley, but it clearly indicates that there is the frustration among the Pakistan-based terrorists. Now, this is the breaking that the NIA teams will reach the attack spot shortly, and they will investigate the matter and who were the attackers and how the attack took place, and any recce was done before the attack by the terrorists. That all the things will be investigated by the National Investigation Agency teams and other teams who are on the spot. Also, we have seen that the DGP Jammu and Kashmir, police, and the IGP Kashmir is also on the spot, and they are monitoring the situation. Also, if we'll talk about the injured persons who have been shifted from the Ganerbal to Srinagar Hospital for the advanced treatment, and if we'll talk about the Divisional Commissioner Kashmir and the DC Srinagar has reached the hospital for the advanced treatment here in the Srinagar. So far, national investigation teams will arrive at the attack spot shortly. Yes, Tanisha.
Right, Arawat, stay with us because we're getting a reaction from Union Home Minister Amit Shah, where he has tweeted in regard with the terror attack that's happened in Kashmir, where he has said that the dastardly terror attack on civilians in Jammu and Kashmir is an act of cowardice. Those involved in this heinous act will not be spared and will face the harshest response from our security forces. At this moment of immense grief, he says that he extends his sincere condolences to the families of the deceased, praying for the speedy recovery of those injured. So that's the breaking news coming in. Amit Shah has tweeted in this regard. He has said he's dead, and he's put a strict warning saying that all those involved in the heinous crime will not be spared. Remember, India's policy has always been very, very stern, that it will not tolerate terror on their soil. It will not tolerate terrorism on their soil, be it from the neighboring country. We also have another breaking news coming in regards with the NIA, as Arawat was telling us that the NIA has now been roped in the Kashmir terror attack. It will now be probing the terror attack in Kashmir that took place, which has killed 7 laborers, what we know so far. Remember, this was a targeted attack. It was an attack to create panic, to create chaos among the Kashmiris. And what we also know is that 5 people have been injured in the case. 7 have been dead. Arawat, I would like to take my question across to you. 7 people have been dead, 5 have been injured. What are the update? Is the death toll likely to mount?
Yeah, there is possibility that more 2 persons who have been shifted to Srinagar for the advanced treatment. 2 persons who are the locals are still critical, and they have been hospitalized in the Srinagar. Also, if we'll talk about the ongoing operation have been intensified. More villages and other nearby areas of the Gandalf have been cordoned off by the Rashtra Rifle groups and the Special Operation Group of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. So far, if we'll talk about the casualties, 7 killed in this terror attack and the 5 are injured. From the 5, 2 are very critical who have been hospitalized in the Srinagar SMHS hospital. Yes, Tanisha.
Right, Arawat, like you were telling us, I would like to take my next question across to Antra, who's joining us live from the newsroom on the story. Antra, 7 people have been dead, and as Arawat was telling us, take us through the timeline that the terror attack happened. What actually is the area like, and what was the target of these terrorists? Antra.
Right, Tanisha. So from what it looks like, the terror attack took place near an under-construction tunnel, where 7 people unfortunately lost their lives, and 5 people are currently critically injured and are undergoing operation in the Srinagar hospital. From what we are also coming to know is that this is likely a targeted attack and a direct attack on Kashmir's economy.
Right. Right, Antra. I would like to take my next question across to Major General Retired A.K. Sivach, who is joining us live on the broadcast. Sir, as we were discussing about how this is a targeted attack to create panic, and this is a clear-cut attempt by the terror state to target the economy of Kashmir, to target the people of Kashmir, just when the situation in the valley was mellowing down, just when there was peace in the valley, is exactly when the terror attack has took place.
Absolutely. See, no doubt, as far as the strategy of Pakistan deep state is concerned, they are totally shaken up because the way Jammu and Kashmir has progressed in last 10 years, and especially in last about 3 to 4 years, the type of infrastructure which has come in Jammu and Kashmir, the colleges have come up, including Malik College, Engineering College, that industry start working, Saudi Arabia, UAE, interested in investing money, G20 meeting held, elections held very peacefully. So this is not to the liking of Pakistan Army and ICE. Though Pakistan government is trying to send a different message in SCO meeting, but the Pakistan army will never like that Jammu and Kashmir to be peaceful. So this is what orchestrated by Pakistan army and ISI. These are the basically offshoot of Lashkar-e-Toba. They are trying to now create sort of a panic situation when the new government had taken over. But I can assure you that the counter-terrorism grid of Rashtra Rifle is very robust in both in central Kashmir and North Kashmir as well as South Kashmir. So time is not far off when they will be able to hunt them down. There will be a proper coordinated search operation will be conducted. This is a semi-mountainous terrain. There are plain areas, but they are rolling up to the rolling hill and to the mountains, and there the infiltration attempts are made, whether it is a Gurez sector, Machal sector, Karen sector or Baramulla sector. But having said so, I can only tell my viewers that the counter-terrorism grid is so stable that coordinated search operation already started by Indian Army along with the Jammu and Kashmir Police and CRPF, and they have already managed to trap them. I am sure this operation will carry on and they will be able to neutralize the terrorists. But certainly it is a cause of concern. We have to be careful. And you will find them they will do such type of target killing. They will go for a soft target because they know it. They don't have capability and capacity to now basically face the security forces because they are down with the weapon. They are morally down. Their leadership is totally wiped off. But they can always pick up a soft target, civilians which are unarmed. And that's what they have actually done it. But certainly one can say that they will be basically hunted down and they will be eliminated. But it will be a big challenge for the new government because as this new government is just taken over of Amar Abdullah, the Pakistan ISI is trying to send some message. And that's very important. You will find that this activity will try to increase. But as we are discussing, we are saying though that the Rashtra Rifle counter-terrorism group is very, very strong. They will be able to hunt down. It is unlike south of Pir Panjal where the troops were moved from there to eastern Ladakh. Here the troops have never been moved. They have strong control. But yes, I agree that this is unfortunate incident. 7 civilians dying on one day is not a good message which you are sending. But it do happen because they are soft target and they have targeted those civilians which are unarmed and they are just working for the betterment of Jammu and Kashmir. So certainly one can say with a lot of authority that they are trying to hit the economy of Jammu and Kashmir. They want to upset the new government which is taking over. And they are sending a very different message from Pakistan. As we are already telling them that talks and terrorism cannot go together. I think Pakistan Army and ISI want exactly that, and that's why they are trying to again activate North Kashmir and Central Kashmir, which is totally peaceful. I can say that it is so peaceful that it has never been so peaceful in last about 10 to 15 years. It is absolutely peaceful, but such activity can take place. But security forces will gun them down in, I'm sure, in another 4 to 5 days because they have been already trapped in the cordon which has been laid by both by the Rashtra Rifle as well as the CRPF and Jammu and Kashmir Police. Kaniska.
Right. I request A.K. Sivaj to stay with us because we have some breaking news coming in. What we learn is that we've got a lead in the case, and what we learn is that freshly infiltrated terrorist group is behind the terror attack, and that terrorist group that actually infiltrated from the north of Kashmir is what we know. And Arawat getting us those details on the broadcast. Arawat, what do we learn? Was there a recce that was done? What was the timeline of the event that followed? Because what we know here is that this was a freshly infiltrated group of terrorists which came in from the north of Kashmir, which opened fire on the 7 people who are now dead. Terror attack, the deadliest terror attack of 2024. What do we know so far about the terrorists involved in the case?
Yeah, absolutely, Tanisha. If we'll go through the source-based information, as we had learned from the sources, that this is the newly infiltrated group from the North Kashmir's Gurez sector, and we have seen today in the morning that the infiltration took place in the North Kashmir's Uri sector in one terrorist have been neutralized and the huge kg of arms ammunition have been recovered. And this is the same group, as we have seen, that the intelligence-based agencies have sounded alert already that there is possibility that after the peaceful elections in the Jammu and Kashmir, there are attempts by the Pakistan-based terrorists, TRF or the Jaish-e-Mohammed, they are planning to create the disturbance in the Kashmir Valley. But we have seen that the alertness of the forces, that the first infiltration have been followed in the Uri sector today, and it indicates that this too was the group that have been infiltrated recently from the North Kashmir's Gurez sector, which is close to this attack spot. There is the possibility at NIA too will be investigating the matter, and we have seen all the officials from the Jammu and Kashmir police and other sister concerned security agencies are verifying all the facts of the attack and all the entry, as I have told, that all the entry and other points have been sealed by the joint security forces. Yes, Tanisha.
Right, Arawat, keep talking to us and stay with us, because what I learned now is I'm getting a reaction. Remember, Amit Shah has already tweeted condemning the attack, the terror attack on 7 innocent people in Kashmir. I'm also getting in a reaction. Let's listen into that.
देखिए, जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए बेहद ही चिंताजनक और दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि नई सरकार बनते ही आतंकवादियों ने प्रवासी मजदूरों को चयनित कर उनकी हत्याएं करने का प्रयास किया है, और जिसमें पिछले 3 दिनों में 2 ऐसे बड़े आतंकवादी हमलों में, जिनमें लगभग 3 प्रवासी मजदूर मारे जा चुके हैं। आज गांदरबल के गुंड इलाके में, जहां पर टनल का काम लगा हुआ था और प्रवासी मजदूरों को आतंकवादियों द्वारा हमला करके 2 प्रवासी मजदूरों की हत्या कर दी गई और 2 प्रवासी मजदूर गंभीर घायल बताए जा रहे हैं। हम इस आतंकवादी हमले की घोर निंदा करते हैं। इसकी जितनी बर्दाश्त की जाए उतनी कम है। हम प्रशासन से अपील करते हैं कि आतंकवादी घटनाओं को रोकने के लिए सख्त से सख्त कदम उठाया जाए।
फिर से 2 मजदूरों की हत्या की गई है। फिर से आज तीसरे दिन ये दूसरा वाकया है। पाकिस्तान प्रायोजित आतंकवाद फिर से सिर उठाने का प्रयास कर रहा है। हालांकि जल्द इनका पता लगा लिया जाएगा, कौन लोग हैं इसके पीछे इन्वॉल्व। तो दुखद घटना है। इस प्रकार से कहीं ना कहीं रणनीति बदलने की जरूरत है, जिससे कि इस प्रकार की हत्याएं जो जानबूझ करके की जाती हैं दहशत फैलाने के लिए बाहरी लोगों को, ये अच्छा नहीं है। तो मुझे लगता है कि सुरक्षा बल अपना काम करेंगे और इनको जल्द से निपटाएंगे और उनके मार गिराएंगे।
That was the reaction coming in from the BJP. I have my colleagues Arawat, I have Antara joining us live, and I also have Major General retired A.K. Siva joining us live on the broadcast. But before I come to all of you, there's a breaking news coming in. In fact, a still that we have received from the attack spot, the terror attack spot. It shows you the gravitas of the terror attack that took place. There you see a car that has completely been destroyed after the terror attack that took place. These are first pictures that we have from the attack site that took place in central Kashmir, a targeted attack by the coward terror state that took place. Visuals on your screen are from the attack site, which show the gravitas of the nature of terror attack that took place. Remember, 7 people have already been dead, 5 have been injured, and the death toll is likely to mount. These are the first pictures that Republic is getting to you from the attack site. These have been accessed exclusively by Arawat. Arawat, coming to you. The pictures on our screen are extremely shocking. It shows the gravitas of the terror attack that took place. Walk us through the timeline. When did the attack take place, and what was the target of the terrorist?
Yeah, absolutely, Tanisha. As you can see, these pictures have been accessed by the Republic, and you can see the intensity of these pictures. And these are the vehicles which were parking there in the premises of the spot where this attack took place. And we have also seen that this is the deadliest attack of this year. And we have seen these kind of attacks before 2019 in the Kashmir Valley. But this is the first time that after the abrogation of Article 370, this is the big terror attack which took place here in the Kashmir Valley. It indicates the intensity of the attack, and the investigation agencies are also verifying the facts of this attack. NIA teams also reaching the spot within the minutes, as we have learned from the sources, as sources have also told us that the nearby villages and other persons are also being questioned. And we have also seen that the CCTV footage of the various locations will be also accessed by the various security agencies, as we have seen that the top officials from the various security agencies are verifying all the facts on the ground. As we have seen the gravity of the attack, it was the planned attack, and the security agencies have to verify now that this attack has took place. After that, was any recce was done before the attack by the terrorists, because we have seen these attacks are being done after the completely recce of the area. And we also believe from the sources, as we had learned, this is the newly infiltrated group which have been infiltrated from the multiple locations in the North Kashmir's line of control, whether we'll talk about the Gurez line of control or Central Kashmir's Gurez and some other places in the North Kashmir. But as of now, 7 have been killed in this ongoing anti-terror operation. And after this attack, we have seen that the security have been beefed up across the valley, and we have seen the migrant workers and the Pandit living areas security have been beefed up across the Jammu and Kashmir to foil any other nefarious attempt by the Pakistan-based terrorists. So far, the massive operation is on.
Right, Arawat, stay with us, because I would like to take my next question across to Major General A.K. Siva, joining us live on the broadcast. Like our reporter Arawat was telling us, how it is due to infiltration that these terrorists stepped in. They crossed the borders illegally and then did a recce and fired upon the 7 innocent people, targeting the economy of Kashmir. Major General A.K. Sivaj, I want to know from you, how can we control the infiltration in the valley? Because it is because of these infiltrated terrorists that every now and then we see innocent people dying from the hands of the terror state.
Tanisha, no doubt. See, the point is, as I was telling you, I myself commanded a brigade on a line of control in a Machal sector, which is adjacent to a Gurez sector. You see that from east to west, if you see it, it is first a Gurez sector, then a Machal sector, then you come a Karen sector, then comes basically Tangdhar, then Kanna, and then Udi sector. Now, all these areas are prone for infiltration, and Pakistan will try to pump in maximum terrorists before the winter in and the passes closing. So there is no doubt about it, the attempts will be made. But at the same time, our counter-infiltration grid on line of control is quite robust. But to say that there won't be any infiltration, it will be zero, it is not humanly possible, because that area is full of jungles. There is a vegetation, high altitude. So there are sometimes gaps left, and that's been utilized by the terrorists. Now, what happened in this case, it looks like that, as your reporter is saying, that is a newly infiltrated group. Possibly, as pointed out by him, it is Gurez sector, which can be a Kanjalwan sector of Gurez, where directly from infiltration, it comes directly bypassing Lolab, comes to Ganderbal. And there they may have come. But 2-3 issues which are very important in this is that once in case they are newly infiltrated group, they are battle hardened, they have fought in Afghanistan, they are equipped with the most modern weapon, that is M4 carbine, left by Americans in Afghanistan. They are also equipped with the modern equipment like satellite phone. They have also a steel cone bullets, and they are well prepared. So therefore, the point is that if it is a newly infiltrated group that has come for a proper purpose, they have been controlled by ISI. Now, the point which you were trying to convey is, how do we ensure that infiltration do not take place? I can only say that the 100% attempts are being made, that zero infiltration take place, but it is not humanly possible. Sometimes the infiltration take place due to various reasons, weather condition, terrain is very bad. It is very difficult to guard every inch of ground. But certainly one thing is there, it is Pakistan army which is helping these terrorists to infiltrate. Now, we have signed a ceasefire in 2021. This has been misused by Pakistan. You know, earlier what we used to do is that any post of Pakistan which is trying to help the terrorists, we used to completely wipe off that post by firing heavy weapon. But after 21, when the ceasefire has been done, Pakistan is making wrong use of this. I think a time has come. We must abrogate this ceasefire and punish Pakistan. Pakistan army has to be punished. Pakistan ISI has to be punished. Until unless you do not punish them, you will not find this infiltration stopping. Now, the way we are unfolding this event, of course it is a ghastly act. It is an act where the terrorists have basically killed those civilians which are unarmed. They are the soft target, and they are trying to send this message that basically they are not safe here, and they are trying to hit the economy. And that's, one can say that it's Pakistan army, Pakistan ISI involved, but I can only say with a lot of conviction, authority, time is not far off when they will be eliminated. The cordon has been already laid, but certainly it is a big setback. I fully agree that it is a major operation which has taken place in this year, where we have lost 7 innocent lives of the civilians.
Right. Stay with us, AK Sivash, because I would like to take my next question across to Antara. Antara joining us live from the newsroom. Antara, what we know so far is that 7 people have been dead, 5 injured have been shifted to hospital. Do we have any update about the health condition of those who have been shifted to a hospital nearby? Remember, 5 people have already been injured.
Right, Anisha. So apart from the 7 people who have unfortunately lost their lives in this terror attack, I beg your pardon, 7 people have lost their lives in this terror attack, and 5 people are currently fighting for their lives. They remain critically injured and are currently undergoing treatment in Srinagar Hospital. Even as the army and the paramilitary forces have cordoned off the area, this by far, and we cannot stress on this enough, remains the most dangerous terror attack in 2024.
Right, Antara. Stay with us. Arawat, you have been tracking this story since the beginning. What we know is that Lashkar-e-Toiba's offshoot did claim responsibility behind the terror attack. What is the update on the probe so far? We learned that a massive manhunt has been launched to nab the terrorist. Is there any breakthrough in that regard, Arawat?
Yeah, Tanisha, as we have seen that the cordon and search operation is being intensified, and as we have seen that from the social media handles of the TRF and the various unconfirmed groups by the TRF, and they have claimed about the attack that they have did this attack. We have seen earlier also after the attack took place in the Kashmir Valley, after that they are taking the responsibilities of the attack. Same happened this time after the attack, and after some time they have taken the responsibility of the attack. Now the security agencies are verifying the various factors of their ongoing operation which is taking place, how these terrorists was planning to do this attack, was any recce was done there, was only the local hand involved in this attack. All the things will be verified, and investigation agencies are probing all the factors of this. Was any local support was provided to these terrorists who reached to that spot, how these weapons and other things have reached to that place, and how these recces have been done earlier in the Kashmir Valley. You have seen from the South Kashmir to North Kashmir, these attacks are being done after the complete recce by these terror groups, and it indicates that the same recce have been done in this, but this is the matter of the investigation that the security agencies are probing the completely matter how this attack took place and who is behind this attack. As of now, we have seen that the TRF, which is the Lashkar's offshoot, have claimed the responsibility of the attack so far. Yes.
Right, Arawat. Thank you for sharing us with all those updates. I have my colleague Gursimran also joining us live. Gursimran, this is the deadliest terror attack as we were discussing in the year 2024, and this comes just days after Omar Abdullah was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Delhi. And remember, this is a big feat in Kashmir, in Jammu and Kashmir, is because this is the first elected government after the abrogation of Article 370. Do you believe that there is an attempt by the terrorists to create fear and panic among the people, keeping in mind how situation in the valley was peaceful after the abrogation of Article 370, and soon after the new government was sworn in, we learned that there's this deadly terror attack that's taken place, deadliest in fact in the year 2024. In this year, 7 people have already been dead. What could be the possible motive of these terror attacks? Gursimran.
See, it was very clear that the adversary country, enemy country, Pakistan, was not happy with what was happening in Jammu and Kashmir, be it the peaceful polls or the anti-terror operations that were intensified by the security forces. And that was why, because after the elections, we have seen that recent spurt in the terror attacks, be it in Rajouri, Poonch, we have seen in the Shopian, a civilian was killed by the terrorists, a non-local, and then this terror attack taking place. So what we are picking up from the sources that the reason could be that the terrorists wanted to intensify their presence in the Kashmir Valley, and that's why a fresh group of terrorists was pushed from the Pakistan side. This infiltration has been done from the North Kashmir, Bandipora, that is what we are picking up. Now, from the Tulel side, these try to come down to the South Kashmir to get back to their bases that are there in the upper reaches of South Kashmir, and this was en route their way that they have carried out these targeted killings. This could not have been possible without the prior information which the terrorists got from some local sources. That is what the agencies are probing. As we speak, the teams of the National Investigation Agency, a small team is being pushed, rushed to the spot where the attack has taken place. That is what we can confirm from our sources, and we are told that tomorrow morning, probably by the noon, the first team will be flown from the national capital or from Jammu to Kashmir Valley to look into this terror attack, because this is a major terror attack that has taken place, and later at this probe stage the case will be handed over to the National Investigation Agency. That is what the officials in the Jammu and Kashmir police are telling us after the approval from the Ministry of Home Affairs. So that's why the NIA is going to carry out a parallel probe. They are going to look into what could have been the possible reason. Apart from this, what we are picking up that the terrorist who has entered the premises, this was one in number. He was covering himself with a shawl, and then all of a sudden he unwrapped the shawl and fired with the weapon he was carrying. One weapon in SAS has been recovered from the spot, though it remains to be unclear whether it belongs to the terrorist, whether the terrorist was carrying only a single weapon or he was having more weapons than one that he used to carry out this attack. All these details are being ascertained by the Jammu and Kashmir police and the paramilitary forces, but this attack, a major attack that has taken place in the central Kashmir's Ganderbal district, has somewhat raised the eyebrows of the central agencies, the intelligence agencies that have been working, because there were some inputs, Tanisha, yesterday also, that there will be infiltration of the groups, but there was not any specific intelligence input regarding this kind of a major terror attack. So what all led to this attack? All this is being probed by the Jammu and Kashmir police, but first priority remains to be that the injured are provided with a better facility, and second is to fight this terrorism with the strength that is unity of the forces and also the synergy that we have seen in the past. We are told that tomorrow morning, there has been several programs of the LG, but there has been a meeting with the top brass of the Jammu and Kashmir police that has been called in. We are getting some details regarding that also shortly. Tanisha.
Right, Gursimran, thank you for getting us all those updates. Major General A.K. Sivaj, coming to you now. Like we were discussing, how this is one of the deadliest terror attack in the year 2024, and how this was aimed at weakening Kashmir's economy, because the target was the laborers there. They were working at an under construction site, and that is when they were targeted. The target was to create panic and fear among the Kashmiris, among the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Kashmir. And remember, General A.K. Sawaj, like you were telling, India's stance has been very clear that it will never and will not tolerate terrorism on their soil, be it External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar at the SCO summit, or for that matter even Union Home Minister Amit Shah, where they have made it crystal clear time and again that India is ready to retaliate. India will retaliate if anybody tries to threaten the national security. Major General A.K. Sawaj, do you think, keeping in mind the terror attack that's taking place in the valley and keeping in mind the targeted attacks that have been taking place in Jammu and Kashmir, is it time that India gives a heads up for a surgical strike 2.0?
Yeah, very correct. See, the point which we earlier have been discussing in earlier discussion, that, you know, there is a different, now time has come to give a befitting response to Pakistan, because after Uri, we had a surgical strike where ground forces have gone and eliminated almost 40 to 50 terrorists on the launch pad there in Pakistan. And thereafter, after Pulwama, there was a Balakot. But as on today, we have many methods, especially one we have got Rafale only up to 400 to 500 kilometers and totally destroy the terrorist camp, because these camp locations are very well known to us. I'm sure these plans are also being worked, but certainly 3-4 things stand out as far as this is concerned. You remember that the Pakistan was trying to create a problem during election, but they did not succeed. You know, the elections have taken place very peaceful, whether it is Lok Sabha and also assembly election, and that is not to the liking of Pakistan Army and ISI. So they will try to create a problem. They possibly have successful in fresh infiltration, which has come from North Kashmir, and they could not have achieved this until unless they have some local support of overground worker and sleeper cell. And the NIA basically coming to find out the larger nexus of these people, because this is very, very important. You know that the terrorists cannot operate there until they have a backing of some overground worker and sleeper cell. And that's what is the requirement. So the point which the offshoot of Laskar, which is there, the TRF, is trying to take this credit of what they have done. But one should understand that these activity will increase because they want to upset the new government which has come. They want to hit the economy of Jammu and Kashmir, which is in the upswing. Infrastructure is